3, 2, 1.
Yo, we got your back when you driving to work or driving home. If you on a plane or you at the gym or you home alone, all you gotta do to listen to the shows, turn on your phone. Two Ugly Nerds podcast, tell you what's going on. This is the podcast.
Eric is ugly and would not judge anybody else.
There's no other insult.
When did you learn that you were
Two Ugly Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Two Ugly Nerds podcast. You niggas from the Black Nerd community. I hope y'all can actually see me because I feel like I'm coming kind of dark, but it is what it is. I am your host, Nick, the podcast guy, and I'm always joined. I don't have anything to say. We really shouldn't let white people keep Utah, bro. We got to go invade that shit. That shit is dope. I am always joined by Ian Berserk Music audio engineer / super producer, the father dad himself.
What's going on?
Okay. Like you got your hair done. You just got your little braid. Yeah.
It's twist. Yeah, it's
Okay.
twist in the
Twist. Okay.
Yeah, a little twist. Got here yesterday, so you know.
Okay. Yeah, I got a hat on for a reason. Also always joined by Geronimo Mr. Nintendo, our resident pro streamer.
Yeah, man. Streaming No More Heroes 3 this week. Depending on how much I play today on recording, might get through kind of quicker than expected, at least the main game. But yeah, man. Always good to be here. Always good to be here.
All right, here's the slight bullshit we can start off with. Me and Ian ain't really heard all the way through. I don't think I heard a decent bit of it. Out of Jurassic, he skipped through a bit of it too. Right before release, before we started recording, obviously Kanye releases Donda. It comes out on a random Sunday morning, which makes sense, right? Like Kanye would just decide to release his album on a Sunday morning because he thinks he has some sort of special God relationship. And maybe he does, but he releases it this morning. It's like what, 27 records or something like that. It's
it's 27 tracks. It's supposed
27.
I did see a picture that split up the track list. So I think the first half is supposed to go to like track 14 or 15, and then it goes 15 to 27.
Okay.
B-side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, A side, B side. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because 15 is named Donda again after you have the Donda chant. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, like I said, I haven't heard too much of it yet, but the production already sounds amazing. So I give him that.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I do like the production.
I think we're all lying to ourselves saying we're not at least wanting to listen to it, interested in listening to it. I know Kanye's been getting a lot of hate for a lot of different shit, like and understandable shit. Not like I'm disagreeing with it, but I mean, it's Kanye and he not on his gospel shit. So, well, not fully. Like there's some.
He's rapping about Jesus.
He's rapping, but he's doing other shit. So we're just gonna check it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll come in here with a little, how we feel about it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's out now. I just thought that was interesting to note before it. Right
Cuddy's
before we came out.
The only thing I'll say is Cuddy's still on one track, which I kept hearing because he kept making changes. Like when he did the Left Pablo, he kept making changes to tracks. Apparently, at one of the live streams concerts he did, I think it was one of the ones here.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, I think. Apparently, people were like, "No, they took Cuddy off the track."
No, it was the one in Chicago.
Oh, it's the Chicago one.
Yeah, because he had took Cuddy and Jay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Well, but Jay and Cuddy are on it. Well, no, you've probably heard the Jay.
Yeah. The Jay record was the first one. Yeah, so I heard that. Yeah,
and Cuddy's back on. So that's cool.
Cuddy's on it too.
Actually, that's one of my favorite songs on there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because isn't it Cuddy and Thug?
It sounded like it was just Cuddy, maybe, but I don't know. There's a lot of features I wasn't too familiar with. Well, not a lot. No, I'm lying. I'm saying it's a lot. I have to re-listen to it again. Maybe Thug was on there and they were just harmonizing to where it, fully sound on par or whatever.
Possible.
But I heard Cuddy through the whole thing though.
Okay.
Kid's name again.
They got Fabio on there somewhere.
Yes.
Fabio Foreign.
Yeah, Fabio Foreign's on there.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm gonna definitely dive into this after the pod today and hear it out. See what Kanye has for us this time. This will be my first Kanye album in a minute since I don't know what the last thing was. Maybe it was Kids See Ghosts, or maybe it's The Life of Pablo. Because I didn't listen to Yay, or was the other one Jesus
King? Yeah, I didn't listen to those.
I didn't listen to either of those. So this will be my first Kanye album in a while, and it's only off the fact that it sounds like he rapping again. So we will see. We will see. Oh, you know what? If they're right here, I'll show you. I think they are. Just before we get there, I grabbed these from our buddy LeKendrick.
Hey,
It's his Street Fighter manga that he's writing. It's called Street Fighter Academy. So I'm not a big Street Fighter person though. I just know we've got friends that are. So when I get a chance, I just wanted to give them a chance to dive into it and see how they feel about it. So that is why I picked him up. I figured I'd just support since he had him, and then I can let somebody who really knows about Street Fighter like that actually read them and give their opinion. So I don't know, maybe John or something like that.
Cam, I like it.
Or Cam, yeah. Oh yeah. Give it to Cam. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, when you come grab your Doom poster, I'll
I'll give
you them. You can hand them to Cam too.
I'll probably come through. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But yeah, so shout out to LeKendrick once again. We're gonna finish those, and I'm gonna finish up his other manga that I just haven't had time. That's a lot of noise. Haven't had time to finish yet, but just to remind you, it's called Rocket Driver UB. Ooh, you can't really.
Oh, you got it.
it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This too. So I do need to finish that up.
Is that like one issue, or is it like?
That's just the one issue. That's
Okay,
just the one
cool.
issue. I need to grab a couple more of those. I just haven't had time yet. But
Dope.
But yes, we are here. Okay. Now, what everybody was waiting for last week. Everybody went crazy. Draw went crazy.
Yeah. I didn't believe it was gonna be happening until it actually dropped.
Bro. Like, don't get me wrong, I was hyped for it, but Draw's hype made me extra hype.
So the Spiderman No Way Home trailer, the first trailer finally dropped. There was an event in Vegas called CinemaCon. I've never even heard of it until this week, but apparently a bunch of movie folks were there. But yeah, over the past weekend though, the 2 weekends ago, we all listened to or watching this episode. There was some leaks that came out. First, it was the trailer descriptions, and I didn't really read it like that, but I heard about it. And then Cam hit me up one day on Discord and it's like, yo, Drew, did you hear about the trailer? And I was like, oh, no, I heard there was some descriptions out, And he's like, no, there's a trailer. And I was like, so I went out and looked for it and found this super potato quality ass, someone recording a phone with a tiny ass video of it. And it was like unfinished graphics and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, this is the actual trailer. Then the rumors, bro, this is gonna be wild. And then this past Tuesday night, they dropped the trailer, and oh boy. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into the deep rumors because, one, I think it's more fun to just kind of go into it fresh. But overall, the trailer showed that yes, multiverse stuff breaks loose thanks to Doctor Strange being pompous and trying to do a spell. Because Peter asked him, "Hey man, can you have everyone forget that I'm Spider-Man? Because it's fucking up my life and my girl and everything, and I'm worried about my loved ones, etc." And he's like, "All right, bet, but don't talk to me while we doing the spell." And apparently, in the trailer cut, it seems that something happened, and it was kind of messed up. And they showed different clips of like crazy visual effect stuff happening. And they showed like quick glimpses of a bunch of villains. And from what I saw from the trailer, it looks like, yes, they're going for a Sinister Six type thing. Cause I mean, they have like a lot of the main Sinister Six in there. They have, they showed like a Sandman looking dude in like darkness. They showed like yellow lightning bolts, which is cool. They showed the bomb, the Green Goblin pumpkin bomb just land on the ground and roll, and we heard the laughter, but we didn't see how they looked, which I'm super curious about. And of course, at the very end, you see a Doc Ock arm just appear and just hit the ground. You see Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2 back in the day. It was like, hello, Peter. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And he actually looks pretty good. I mean, of course, CGI, because he's older now. But like, this is unprecedented. This might be a bigger movie than at least one of the Avenger in Infinity movies.
It's definitely going to go down in history.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
hold on. Don't get me wrong. I'm hyped too.
I'm gushing, but
you do have to. We do have to see how it plays out.
That's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong. One thing I hope they understand they don't have to do is handhold us. You don't have to walk us back through these old movies and what they went through.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that.
Don't waste any time with that.
Especially for the
if you know who they are, you know who they are. If you don't, go watch them.
That's kind of been how these new Spider-Man movies have been. Like, they don't really handhold you like that into the backstories of the villains.
Yeah, not too deeply.
Yeah, kind of assume you know a little bit of something about these guys.
True. Yeah.
I think they did a good job with Vulture and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Sure, they did a really good job.
They did a good job with like why his motivations and intertwined it with the MCU with like him being like after the big battle in New York in the first Avengers movie, all that random what they call it, Chitauri alien tech that landed. They're just reselling it and trying to clean up and stuff. So it's cool from that aspect. They intertwined it in like that. Mysterio is interesting because Mysterio is a goofy ass Spider-Man villain, and they made him cool in modern times, which I think that they made the fishbowl helmet cool, which I think is an achievement. I think that's an achievement, bro. Like not even on some comic accuracy, but like that. I don't know, man. These costume designers, these costume designers have been kind of killing me. But I mean, I don't think they've been spending like heavy amounts of time like going, oh man, slowly becoming the character. They're just kind of like, oh, here they are now, and stuff like that. So yeah. So I agree with you all there too. I hope they don't spend too much time, especially with the Sam Raimi trilogy of villains. I'm assuming. There's some other rumor stuff that I'm not really going to go deep into, honestly, just to keep it kind of clean. But based off the trailer, this looks to be very exciting. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Now, and also they said that it's coming out in December still, so they're going to keep the release date. So that's a pretty big thing too. Although I mean that's up now.
As now, yeah.
We could get Super Duper Delta 3.0.
Yeah,
Alpha Mark III version, whatever, and anything could happen. But God forbid that doesn't happen, just in general. But yeah, overall, outside of me gushing for like 5 whole minutes straight, what y'all think of the trailer?
Yeah,
I thought the trailer was a MCU trailer, man. It got you hype as hell.
MCU out of 10.
Yeah, MCU out of 10. And they knocked it out of the park, man. They knocked it out of the park. They didn't give you too much of the villain besides Doc Ock. You got a glimpse of the Goblin.
They know
exactly, and you got a hint of Sandman, and I guess
Electro
is in that same scene. So it was pretty dope, man. It was pretty dope.
It's very exciting stuff.
I'm pretty hyped for the movie, to say the least.
Yes. I agree. It's all the same stuff. I saw, I made Gerard finally send me the recording of a recording.
That shit was so bad. It was so bad. I was like, bro.
Because at that point, my hype had just gotten up. I was like, I gotta see this. And I watched it and I was like, okay, I could kind of make out some stuff here or there, but I was like, whatever. So then to see it in like it's full, in how it's intended to be watched.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like Gerard said, everything was see the Goblin come back. I thought that was so cool. I can't wait till we get to see him and his actual face. Like that's gonna be really interesting.
I'm super curious how Green Goblin's gonna look. Cause like comic accurate Green Goblin, just comics. Yeah. He's always got like the clothing, the robes, and all that. And he's got the super cartoonish, face mask thing, whatever. And in the movie, those early 2000s, so we were still dealing with like X-Men, all black spandex suits and all that. You know, people were just really safe with these comic book uniforms and costumes. So like, yeah, I'm curious what angle they're gonna go with here. Are they just gonna go with how he looked in that? Maybe just update the armor suit a little bit, or they're gonna do like Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, where I mean, he's still wearing the big overcoat, and I mean, from the glimpses, he still got the big overcoat. We didn't see the arms behind him. We just saw the clip of arms coming out of like the ground somewhere, or like from a collapsed bridge or something. But yeah, I'm just curious how everyone's gonna look. Like I'm curious it's interesting because even though it's it's MCU and it's got Doctor Strange, this is like technically all Sony Spider-Man property stuff, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
So make liberties or whatever. So I'm curious. And I for like a Sony Spider-Man movie trailer, I'll give them credit. This didn't really spoil a ton. Well, not spoil. Didn't really give it wasn't like a super detailed trailer that gives you a lot of how you think the movie's gonna go.
Oh yeah.
It was a well put together trailer.
Well put together.
Yeah, and it's
for that.
And you got to remember it's Marvel, so some of it is obviously meant to mislead you a bit too. I always take that into consideration with Kevin Feige. He don't tell you too much. So yeah, even though it looks like this or that, I do think it is interesting. I've heard the rumors between like Doc Ock, which Peter is he saying hello to?
That's what I think too, because it didn't dawn on me till like the 10th time I watched.
That'd be interesting.
But I also wonder though, like
that'd be interesting.
It doesn't really matter which Peter he's talking to, because if he just sees a spider person in a suit, then he's just like,
that's true.
Oh, Peter, I know you're Peter.
I know you're Peter.
But I mean, it might be also crazy shit. It could be Miles. Like, I don't know. It could be anything.
Man, what if?
Chill out, man.
What if? I mean,
Relax.
Donald Glover was Uncle Aaron in Homecoming. I mean,
he really was, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they. I can't remember if they explicitly said, or he said his name was Aaron, whatever. But I mean,
he never said the last name, but he said my nephew is or something. He said,
I'm trying to protect this. I'm trying to keep the streets clean. My nephew growing up around here, and I was like, So I think it was like I feel like that was more of a nod, but they could lean into if they wanted to. Yeah. Which I hope they fucking better actually.
We'll see.
Man. I know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know. Well, I mean, not in this movie. I'm just saying the future.
I will say, I'm
not expecting this movie.
Nazi pointed this out, and I do feel the same way in that I guess I do still have the poor taste of Spider-Man 3 and all the villains that were in that, and how much of a clusterfuck that was.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
I do fear that this might be a little bit of that if it's not balanced right. I don't know how they're gonna squeeze it all into this movie, considering all the people they're trying to play with. So
that's why the first thing I said is, as long as they don't handhold, I think they're fine. Because all you have to do really is make sure that you don't have to explain any of the Spider-Mans. You don't have to explain, you don't have to give us, we don't need a history of the Goblin.
No.
We don't need a history of we don't need a history of any of them.
Really
go watch the movies where they come from, or don't.
Maybe they'll just say something like,
you don't have to do any of it. There's just I think there's easy ways around it if they trust their audience. The question is, how much do they trust the audience?
But it's like, it's so I'm thinking like, how much are they gonna like nerf some of these villains? Because like in Infinity War or Endgame, the Thanos' squad.
Oh, the Black Order.
Yeah, they were dealing with them on top of Thanos and all of his goons. And I mean, it was just no way to.
That scene was that whole final act was interesting because it definitely was like a multiple power struggles. I mean, it was like first it was like, oh, we scrapping, but then it was like, yo, where's the gauntlet? And it became a goose chase of who got the gauntlet and stuff like that.
I guess it depends on how they balance it, really.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what kind of got me from like rumors of like these older Spider-Man movie villains appearing in some multiverse event. Because I was just like, when we saw what happened with Spider-Man 3, and a similar thing happened with Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that movie's just, that movie's right. It's just, super duper bad. Holy shit. But that movie has really good fight scenes. Actually, it's fresh from my mind. I watched some Electro stuff last night, and I was like, okay, I forgot They actually had a really good visual thing down for him. Yeah, it's definitely still. I mean, I'm still excited for the idea of this movie, but that is definitely a main concern still too. And then hell, I mean, what could be the main motivation outside? Yo, it's a Spider-Man. Let's get him. His suit looks different. Let's still get him.
You killed me in my universe. Now
Well,
I'll kill you.
I think that's what it is. They blame him for their deaths, so obviously they want to fight.
Hey man, Gobby killed himself, bro. He was talking all that good shit. He was trying to gaslight Peter.
Yeah,
he
Goblin
said,
did kill himself.
He said, "Don't tell Harry who," and slump, and that was it. Doc Ock was just like, "Yo, I made a whole son. Oops. Let me just go ahead and take this down to the river real quick."
Mm-hmm.
And then
I do think it was funny. I do. It's funny because I had said, not funny. Sorry, it's not funny. But I had said if they just put James Franco in this, it's goated. I didn't realize James Franco had like a whole Me Too movement against himself. Like I didn't realize he did.
Does he really?
Some fucked up shit too. Yeah, he did. Apparently, I guess he's been accused. I don't know how I couldn't find how it turned out or like how it played out, but like I guess he had like acting school or something like that, and some of the girls, like it was like 5 different women accusations against like sexual misconduct and stuff like that.
Oh shit! I actually know that.
So I didn't know that at all.
5 women accuse him of inappropriate. God damn it!
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Los Angeles Times.
Dang it!
Yeah, I had no clue. Man. So
that makes
so he's probably not gonna we're not gonna see the Hobgoblin show, but it did. But I was the part that I was is what's that Is that Spider-Man 2 when Peter's got the room, he's like, "Oh, you gonna cry?" And
man, that sucks, man. Because he was true asshole Harry.
Yeah,
in those movies, like
it just would have been cool to see him come back.
Man. If you watch the first Spider-Man, like when they're going through like the museum before he gets bit, and Peter tells Harry like the little random fact about spiders, he's like, "Who's a fuck about that, Peter?" And he tells the same shit to MJ. He's like, "Wow, Harry, that's cool." And Peter's looking like Pikachu face. Like I was like, "Yo, oh man, that's some crazy shit." But yeah, damn, that makes sense though. I didn't really. He's been out of the public eye for him.
Yeah, I guess that's why we haven't seen him around lately.
$2.2 million settlement.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, he settled. Oh, that's that then. Well, damn.
Yeah, he did that.
Damn, yeah, he just said, "All right."
He 100% did that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Well,
that's wild.
That's how it goes.
For a while, you see him and Seth Rogen just together, just doing.
Yeah, but then I was reading. They said like after that accusation and stuff came out, Seth Rogen had like publicly denounced him and was been like, I don't fuck with him. Like,
that makes 100%. I mean, Seth Rogen,
like he distanced himself from him immediately.
Seth Rogen did the correct thing. That the thing that a lot of people don't be doing. I applaud him. And now he's about to open all these weed shops. Congrats to him.
Yeah, another one bites the dust.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite white boy actors. I'll be honest.
Same.
Yeah, I mean,
not gonna lie, but that's still not cool.
That's still not cool.
No,
not at all. Yeah, man, that trailer though.
Yeah, that trailer was
hype.
That was some heat.
That was some heat, man.
I honestly, I mean, it's probably an unpopular opinion, but if they decide to not show anything else until December, I think I can make it. I think I'll be fine. I just wanted to see some confirmation on some of the rumors, and I think this did confirm a number of them, so I'm good. Now, if there's another trailer tomorrow, my ass is gonna watch it. However, if they decide not to do one, I'm not crazy. Now if they somehow, or if they don't, like I said, they choose not to until maybe like right before release or some shit, then that's fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel no way about like having to see another trailer.
Hope y'all didn't,
because like you said, I think they did a great job of. And I guess because it's so close still, that's the main reason, I guess. Like if this was to like next summer, then I'd be like, nah, you got to show us something else. But since it's gonna be,
like this, literally the last week of August, and they put it out.
Since it's gonna be this winter, I'm like, okay, I can wait till the winter to watch some more of this. Like I don't need it today.
Yep. So it'll be here before we know. We just got, September is literally this week coming up. We just got this month.
Like 2 minutes long, bro.
Exactly. October, spooky month, and after that, it's the holiday season. So
Speaking of spooky months, before we move to the next thing, any of y'all said Candyman 5 times into your microphone on the website?
Nope.
No, is that a thing? I didn't know.
Yeah, so they did like a
I didn't know
promotion for
that.
the movie.
That's kind of funny.
Promotion for the movie. You go to their website or whatever, and you say Candyman 5 times. How many times have I just said it? Twice? All right, chill out. You say his name.
Hey man, no, not back. Nay, not back to back. You're good.
Oh,
Not
true.
back to
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I said it with words in between. All right, we're good.
Candyman,
Yeah.
Candyman. I'm just playing.
Oh, whoa.
What are y'all doing? What are you doing?
Whoa.
Yo, I'll end this
Whoa.
pod right now. Fuck you.
You're reckless.
You're not worth my life.
Man.
You playing around is not worth it.
Chill out.
Look, nah. But yeah, that was cool. You could go to the site. You could say it 5 times. I don't know if you can still do it or not because I think the movie's out
I'm
now.
trying to see right now. Hold on.
In.
Whoa, wait a minute. We're recording. We're recording.
If they're doing a flip that I think they're doing, this movie gonna be fire, man. It might be goated.
I hope it's good. I've heard some mixed things.
Yeah,
I think
it's one of those movies I'll watch when it comes to wherever HBO Max or something. I watch it when it comes. I'm not going to go to theaters to see it, but whenever it comes on streaming services, I'm going to watch it then. That's how I like watching horror movies anyway. I'm not the biggest fan of going to theaters and seeing them anyway. I don't want people to realize I'm a little bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
learn that about me.
You the whole like lean, look over your glasses, just blurry type shit. Finally, us eyeglasses.
Is that a thing? Yeah.
No, I've never done that.
I've never done it either.
I've never
But
done
I've heard of that before.
That does sound funny though. It does actually sounds kind of like if I can't see it, then it can't scare me. I guess.
Sometimes I watch a scary movie on mute, so that a lot of times it's the sound effects that be getting the nigga, man.
You're right. The music.
They get you immersed.
Yeah.
They get you immersed in the shit.
I don't mind watching the scary shit. It's the jump scares, you know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah, I hate jump scares. I hate screamers like online. I don't think it's as prominent now on the internet, but back in the day, like you just watch someone like all of a sudden, bro.
Oh yeah, that scream face.
That would piss me off so much.
They tried to do us like that in Titans, when he first walked in, and then it was they switched to the Joker police officers hug up or whatever, and it was like, and it was like, oh come on. Then
he got swung off screen. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'm not letting that go.
No, actually, we can rediscuss that again because of the events of the last episode. Because that, now I'm a little annoyed. Now I'm a little annoyed by that. But yeah, no. So, what was I saying? Oh, the Candyman thing. Yeah.
Oh, bro. You asked if we say in the website 5 times.
Yeah. You can go to the website and do it, and you can see that. And I just I was talking about the scary movies. I don't mind. I just it's like the jump scares. I hate that a lot of these horror movies have just kind of become jump scare fest. Yeah. I like the psychological shit where I'm like, yo, what if a dude could probably just really do that? Like that could be crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit that like have me up at night. Like I can't sleep after watching that. Not the it's a scary dude running around killing people. Whatever. I'm gonna shoot that guy if he comes to my house. Like,
right. if he withstands,
good luck. If he
shotgun shells to the face, and I will be worried a little bit, but
then we'll have a problem. But until then,
Jason shit or whatever.
Because every movie the dude is they're just running from some guy with a knife, and it's like, so nobody got a weapon, none of y'all.
I like the subtle shit, like the shit where they just be chilling in the room, and then in the background something's crawling towards them.
Right,
and that's realizing.
The only since we're on this a little bit, I don't really watch scary movies, horror movies that often, but the one I saw as a kid, how old was I? Like 11, 12? The one movie I saw as a kid, because we rented it from Blockbuster, was John Carpenter's The Thing. Bro, that movie is just like psychological, because it's like who's who or who's what. And if you look at it now, even though that's a movie, I think it came out in the late 80s, early 90s or something like that. I think it might be early 90s. I think that movie's like practical effects, they still hold up to this day. Like when the dog walks in the little the cell in the beginning, and like the other dogs are barking like, yo, they ain't a dog, bro, and it transforms. That shit still looks kind of like wild.
He ain't one of us, hold on.
Right, yo, because it was like 4 other animals that were barking like, yo, why did you point? Yo, stop. But that movie,
what you doing?
That movie is a classic. But yeah, that's how the only movie where I went to bed thinking like, oh shit, That's actually kind of creepy. I mean, obviously, this all happened in like the South Pole, but that's still creepy as hell.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. So now I feel on that.
Yeah, man. No. Okay. Let's dive into this before we get into our normal segments. We got confirmation that Riri Williams is going to be introduced to the MCU through the Black Panther 2 movie.
Wakanda forever.
So obviously there's all the speculations about how that could happen and whatnot. I guess my issue is I don't want the Black Panther movies or Black Panther projects to be the place to start introducing all the Black characters now, because I just hope that that's not the case. I hope they tie this in well. And don't get me wrong, it's Ryan Coogler still, right? So it's not that I don't trust him to be tactful in how he does things. I do. But at the same time, and this is kind of what we were saying, like what I was saying, like the live show, he is still giving a direction. You know what I mean? He is still giving some, hey, you have to work with this. And so if he was told, hey, you have to introduce Riri Williams into your movie, that's just what he has to do. So, there's tactful ways I think you do it. I know, Gerard was talking about like the, outreach programs and stuff like that. So, it's definitely,
that's my hope. Yeah.
There's definitely easy ways you can tie it in. But I've also seen the argument, and this is the kind of main thing I want to get to with this. I've also seen the argument that they need to have Riri Williams in it because they don't know that a Shuri-led Black Panther movie will gain the same amount of popularity or hype around it. So if you team her up with Ironheart, now you have a bit more of that. I don't know that I believe that, because I was gonna go see Black Panther 2 regardless. They recast T'Challa, they don't recast it. Like, we're all gonna go see it. Now, if the movie doesn't do well or it's not good enough, then maybe maybe I could see numbers dropping off for part 3. But like Thor 2 wasn't great, or right? The Thor Dark World, that one wasn't great. And people still went and saw Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, I did, definitely. Just because the trailers look fire. I don't think I ever saw any of the Thors in theaters back then, I think.
I understand the main argument. If you write T'Challa out of the MCU, you miss out on a lot of T'Challa's stories in the MCU. But the MCU wasn't just for T'Challa's stories, and it was nice. It would have been nice to see him with Chadwick there. And me personally, I would have been okay if they recasted him, but they chose not to, and that's their decision. How long are you gonna bitch about the fact that they chose not to recast him? They're not recasting him. And they're moving forward. There's more space to introduce other Black characters, to have great performances.
There's still a number of Black Marvel characters, male, female, etc., that just haven't been introduced yet. I mean, one thing I will say real quick and then continue. I really hope they don't introduce Aurora Monroe in any way, shape, or form in this movie. I've seen a couple of people, they're like, oh, she has relevance with that. No, stop. Don't do it. Let them introduce her correctly with the correct actress whenever they want to introduce a Mutants project. That's how it should be done. She's one of the original members. She's one of the strongest. She's one of the So that's my stance on that.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't try to shoehorn her in with some of these other characters. Or just some random place in the MCU, which I don't think they will. I think they know with X-Men, I think they know with X-Men they have to do the right thing. They have to come correctly with it. So I don't foresee them fucking up anything like that. You know what I mean? They'd have to really, really, really be like off one to do something like that, I think. So regardless of what fans may think they want, I couldn't see them doing that to Storm, not at all. Okay, but yeah, what did y'all think about Riri coming through on the Black Panther 2? And then again these arguments people having wanting T'Challa recasted because they feel he's just that essential to the MCU and he needs to be recasted so his stories can be told in the MCU.
First, I've always liked the Riri character, and I would have enjoyed her being in anything, regardless of when, so long as CW doesn't have a hand in it.
Well, actually, we think they walk on set randomly. I just quit from those guys. I have a great idea.
Yeah.
No shade to them though. Just
no, all shade to them.
All
Fuck
shade
them.
to
All right, well, never mind. As a group, I don't know. All right, whatever.
Yeah. So I don't really, feel a way about it. I see how it can make sense, and that's enough for me, personally. I understand the feeling of not wanting, the Black comic book movie to be how you introduce all Black heroes in the MCU. I get that. I don't think they're going in that direction, because so far we've already been introduced to a handful of them outside of, Wakanda, like Falcon and Iron Patriot and
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. All these people have been introduced already, apart from, Wakanda. So I feel like, I guess technically, if you want to go based on the comics, we kind of missed the window as far as introducing Riri Williams.
Yeah, with Tony. Yeah.
With Tony being gone. So
and that's
that would have been interesting.
And that's all I'm saying is I don't want it to be like to me, if they really cared that much about Riri being in here, or they really wanted to introduce her, they had time to write her in some way. Because this Riri Williams is never going to get a chance to meet Tony Stark now, right? Like,
right. Unless they do some kind of backstory thing where she was already talking to him.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. I guess that's true too.
Some hologram thing.
I guess that's what it is. If I just didn't want maybe Black characters who are in the MCU, but maybe can't come in their original way, then they just get like shoehorned to, oh well, shit, you probably know somebody in Wakanda. Like, I just don't want it to be that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't want it to be. Like, you got a cousin over there or something.
General audience will like, that'll be an expectation.
That's what I mean.
I feel like they will take that approach that Gerard mentioned, where she's introduced to Wakanda via the outreach program.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they bring her in and upgrade her suit, and now it's Wakandified.
Yeah. I mentioned that before we recorded. But yeah. My hope with what they do with the character. I think it's cool. I think I'm all for her being introduced here, starting at least from what some of the set photos has been coming out. I mean, they haven't shown anything depicting Wakanda. Looks like they're here in the States for whatever reason. Maybe part of the outreach program, they did over in was that West Coast, California? I don't remember exactly where it was off the top.
It was Oakland.
It was Oakland. Okay, thank you. Okay, that was my second thought, but I didn't want to be incorrect. So I think that's cool and everything. I'm expecting is like, they kind of meet her at MIT, because like in the beginning of Captain America Civil War, where Tony was having like a little presentation of like how he wants to have a grant from Stark Industries and everything for aspiring minds there at MIT and everything. And of course, she's one of the characters, she's going to school there, and she's genius level intellect. So, and then maybe they meet her and just get in connection, and then that's it. And that's our introduction to her character. And they mentioned some Tony Stark things here and there. Might get a glimpse of how her suit may look. That'll be cool. But no, of course, that kind of eases into the character and what she's about, and maybe what she'll be about with the Ironheart show on Disney Plus in the future.
Right.
Now I don't know if I didn't what you say, Ian. I didn't actually consider that she might want to bring more tech to their suits and stuff. But I think it could be a good idea, especially since I think we're all kind of on board thinking that Shuri's going to take on Black Panther the Black Panther mantle. So I think, having another genius black woman character who's really good at
Yeah.
like tech and gadgets and engineering, and so I think that's a cool look to have another character like that while she'll be in
Yeah.
the suit doing stuff.
That was ultimately like what when you guys told me that it was happening. I was like, okay, so that's the play they're gonna make. Like
Yeah.
two brilliant black women,
Mhm.
you know, in technology working together.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, that's my hope. Again, I'm.
But does that mean? Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh yeah, my last thing I was just gonna say, I kind of with you with like I do trust Ryan Coogler, and I'm sure they've went through number of like script drafts and everything to make sure they get it right and respect everything from the first movie and Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa. But I'm kind of looking at this a bit more critically just to see what they go about with the direction and everything. But yeah, go ahead, Derek.
I just wonder if you think that means that they think that Shuri can't lead a movie by herself then?
I think it depends on how prominent the supporting cast is.
Yeah, and I assumed that it wasn't just going to be Shuri.
I'm saying in your scenario where it's Shuri and Riri basically team up to take down whatever threat has come up or whatever, right?
Yeah, supposedly Namor and
let's say they're fighting against Namor, right? And so is that them teaming up? See, I'm trying to understand because like I guess like Black Widow, that's kind of a team up movie, except that it's really an origin movie and a pass the mantle movie, right?
Yeah, it had multiple things going on,
right? So that makes a little more sense. This is introducing Riri Williams. If Riri had already been introduced somewhere light in the MCU, and then Shuri reached out to her, and in this movie, I feel like that would make more sense. But to introduce her here and then have her fighting against somebody like in this case, just hypothetically Namor, seems kind of a big boost for her to go from just a smart student to who's never met Tony Stark or anything like that, at least from what we know right now, who's never been in any of that. It's just a smart girl at MIT, and to a full-blown superhero who's fighting a big-time person in MCU. Like, I don't know. That just seems real quick. And I mean, like I said, I trust Ryan Coogler to write it out well anyway. So I'm sure however they write it will work still. Like, you know what I mean? I do believe that. But I just wonder if that means that they don't really believe Shuri can hold her own through a whole movie.
Honestly, I didn't think that she was going to be tasked with holding the movie. And that I was thinking if not Riri Williams, I thought it was going to be one of the other people.
I don't know. We might.
Like, what was the girl's name?
Talking about Denai Guerrera and Okoye? Is Okoye?
Yeah.
And Dora Milaje
or Lupita.
Or Lupita, yeah.
Man, I hope she comes. I don't know if she's confirmed. I hope she comes back, but she's kind of doing her own like, you know, her thing stuff outside of Wakanda, independent stuff. Yeah, I hope she comes back. I thought
it was gonna be like that, like those three tackling the tasks of protecting Wakanda outside of Black Panther.
Okay. Fair enough. So you didn't even see it.
I didn't even see it as like a solo. This is like a solo act Shuri story.
Okay.
I don't really see. I'm still unsure what direction they're gonna go with it.
Just based on the description that Ryan Coogler said, it's gonna be more of a look into Wakanda and how they run things. Not just Shuri, but Wakanda as a whole.
Maybe we'll get more of, like early on, like, and I think I want to say the first half of the movie, we saw kind of glimpses of like them walking around in like the normal parts of Wakanda, like not, of course, the royal area and everything, but like, like maybe we'll show like day-to-day stuff in those parts as well. Yeah, maybe it'll be more things in. There's a lot of what ifs.
It's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was going to see this anyway, so I think it's odd that people are saying that they don't think Shuri can hold her own. I don't believe. I was just trying to get your thoughts on it. I don't think that's true. Because I would have watched the Shuri. I would watch a movie where they obviously they have to respect Chadwick Boseman for sure. But then if they did a thing where however they try to explain T'Challa's passing or missing in the MCU, if they did something where Shuri, like let's say they just addressed it and as Chadwick passing or as T'Challa passing in the MCU, I would watch a movie of Shuri trying to deal with that, learning how to deal with that, having the support of the people around her and all that type of stuff, and then growing into becoming the Black Panther herself, and then building up to the point where she saves something or whatever. Or maybe there's somebody else that tries to claim the throne, so she has to do a challenge day for them as well. That's a nice little throwback to T'Challa doing his, and then she betters him. I could see that being interesting and me wanting to watch that. Whether other people would or wouldn't, I don't know. And it sounds a lot like they wouldn't be, but me personally, I would have watched that and been really excited, really interested. So I guess I'm what's the word? Yeah, confused. Other than the thing that I said earlier about just not wanting Black Panther to become the crutch. That's it. I just don't want it to become the crutch of the MCU. Just throw the Black people in there because they're there. Like I just don't want that to happen. Outside of that, I was always going to watch this movie anyway. So, that's just how I feel about it. Okay. Let's let us jump forward into technically
speaking, one for you guys. So Apple has been facing a lot of lawsuits. Disgruntled app developers.
Angry.
Tim Apple is sweating.
Yes. Tim Apple legally changed his last name.
Right.
So there's a $100 million settlement that they're naming an Apple Small Developer Assistance Fund.
Wow.
It's a settlement. This follows a
assistance fund.
Because ultimately everything that's in this lawsuit affects it affects everybody as a whole, but the bottom line takes that L a little harder because the Apple tax is real. It states that that Apple maintains an illegal monopoly over the distribution of apps in the iOS App Store. Take with that what you will. It lists a couple of monetary regulations: $99 annual fee for hosting the app, 30% cut of all transactions made in the app, and this weird one: everything that they price has to end in 99 cents.
That's a psychological thing too.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
That's gross.
Yeah. It essentially states that the fact that the Apple Store is the only way you can distribute iOS apps affords them the luxury to,
manipulate shit.
Manipulate shit, create these ridiculous rules and taxes.
They're not wrong.
So yeah, they're not wrong, and they ultimately are settling to pay out $100 million to developers with less than $1 million per year in proceeds from App Store sales. It also, that's gonna happen. I don't know. There's a site that shows you how they're gonna distribute it, ranging from like 1 penny to tens of thousands of dollars to each, or depending on, I guess, how much you earn.
Sheesh.
On top of that, there has been a change to their policy, which allows developers to email consumers with their consent with a link to buy apps or buy in-app items outside of the App Store, effectively circumventing that Apple tax.
Mhm.
So that's what's going on in the Apple world.
I don't even know is that crazy over
It's
there.
crazy over there. And I didn't even think about the lack of different means of receiving apps, because there's the Google Play Store, obviously, and then there's Amazon's Play Store, and then there's Samsung's, and there's a bunch of stores over on the Google side where you can get an app.
Right. Yeah. There's nowhere near as many options.
Yeah, a lot of
on
these
the
things
iPhone
that can
side.
be obtained in the Google Play Store, these app stores.
Right. You can you can get the other app stores from the Google Play Store. They'll
Because
send
they're
you
open
right
like
there.
that.
Yeah.
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 Apple's like, nah, we cool on that.
Y'all can have that over there.
This is the only way.
Yeah, that's
Well, I mean,
gets so people getting money. So people getting a little bit of money back. Apple finally having to loosen up a bit. I mean, it was bound to happen eventually, right? I mean,
It was.
I'm
And
not too
honestly,
surprised.
I don't even fault Apple for doing it, man. It's they shit.
I mean, it's their
Yeah,
store.
get away with it as long as you can.
It's
long
their
as you can.
store.
Yeah.
They make all their hardware that runs iOS. So they're like of anyone to do it, they're definitely the ones that can just be like, yo, it's our way, or literally the highway. Like,
Literally the
hey,
highway.
you can go those guys over there,
Exactly.
and that's it. So, but I mean,
Yeah.
for the smaller app developers and stuff, this is good for. I mean, it's good for everyone across the board, but for the smaller ones who look at that and they're like, bro, this is some BS. Kudos to them. Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna go as far as their OS monopolizing that and making it so that there aren't any other developers that can have iOS on their phones.
Well, who else can have
I don't
iOS
know.
on their phones right now?
Well, that's the thing. Only Apple can. But what if
I'll be
Samsung
shocked.
could have an iOS variant and an Apple variant?
I'll
an
be
Android
shocked.
No,
I'll be
but my thing is Apple would have to agree to give them the software to let them do that and let them sell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have
I mean,
to.
it's the same way they would have to agree with this, allowing app developers to circumvent the Apple tax and buy things outside of the Apple Store.
No, but what I'm saying is it'd be different, right? Because Samsung tomorrow can't just say, "Hey, we took iOS and are putting out an iOS phone." It's not open source like that. Like it's still Apple's.
Yeah, I'm saying I wonder if they're going to go as far as to say, "Hey, that's a monopoly too. You guys are monopolizing the operating system."
No, I don't think they can do that. I don't think you can do that. That doesn't make sense to me. Because how could you tell me that I have to allow other companies to use the software I developed? You can't tell me that. But on that app, you are limiting people. And honestly, it's actually a bit unfair to Apple, really. If I'm being honest, and I'm not the one to fight for the billionaire companies, you know that, but
I mean, that's what I keep saying. It's they shit, man. You guys are hosting
stuff,
your app on my
phone that I build, on my software that I built, everything that I built that's for people who want to use this phone specifically. Yeah, that is a little wild. I mean, I get it from a moral standpoint. You should make it easier, and you don't have to take as big of a cut. But Apple is saying, we did all the work to earn this much of the market share. We're the reason that you want to put your shit on an Apple device because we've sold so many of these before. It's not like your app being here sold as phones. So now that you want to put your app on our phone and take advantage of our consumer base, we need a nice ass cut of that.
I guess the biggest scrutiny is that there is no other way to put to add an iOS app.
But why do I have to make it another way?
Well, that's where the
I think that's where the argument comes in. Why do I have to why do I have to give you another avenue to get an app on my phone that I developed? Why would I have to? I understand morally it's nice for competition and market shit, blah, 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 blah. I get all that. I'm saying if Apple isn't in bed with anybody else They've made everything themselves. Not only that, they've grown from making basically an MP3 player to these phones that have dominated the world, and tablets and phone and computers and all this stuff that they've made that now basically dominates the world. You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They've done all that on their own. They grew Apple to the point where, as a developer, you need, or you want your app to be able to go on an iPhone. Apple did that themselves. Why do I have to give you multiple routes that I don't control to be able to put something on my baby? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's because they're saying that's a legal monopoly.
I know if I built it. It's not illegal monopoly. You can go buy another phone and use that.
Yeah, that's kind of that's really
the kind of the
that's the catch with it and all.
You don't have to have an iPhone.
Yeah, it's
there's Apple. How many apps do I miss out? How many apps do we miss out on because we have iPhones and Drock has access to other things or different features, things we can't do?
We
lose out on. Is that
Android lost Dark Sky, arguably probably the best like weather detection app because I think Apple bought the API or whatever, however that works. For their weather. I mean, and that sucked for the past year and a half until recently. Someone else somehow got the same tech and they're doing it. Doesn't look as nice, but it's the same way it works. But yeah, like very rarely is it the other way around where the shoe's on the other foot. They started out in the smartphone game earlier than Google and Android did overall. They had a bigger standardization for it. I think early on, the Androids and everything, that Play Store was, or whatever I think they call it, whatever. The Play Store back then, it was just a mess, in all honesty. It
was a Wild Wild West, man.
It was a Wild Wild West, like Samsung, Motorola, LG, oh God, who else was out then? I guess Huawei, whatever. All those names who were still making the phones were just doing their thing, whatever. Google made their first phone, and it looks like ass looking back at it. But yeah, iPhone, yeah. I mean, it's interesting that they actually they settled on the whole situation. It is pretty interesting that came about. I guess because just over time, it's just the ecosystem has grown, and I don't want to say balloon. That would mean it would like burst or whatever, but it's just grown to a point where a lot of these developers have noticed that they just ain't getting the right cuts that they feel like they deserve. And also just dealing with the really high taxes. Well,
see, my thing is though,
I mean, there's two ways to look at it for sure.
It says monopolies are illegal if they are established or maintained through improper conduct. And I guess I don't even know if this technically counts as improper.
How do you? And that's what I'm trying to see. How is this improper conduct or illegal conduct? I'm not sure.
I feel like the only way it would truly be a monopoly is if like Ian, thing what Ian said earlier with if let's say Samsung made their own iteration of iPhone, which just means it runs iOS or whatever. So it had it has the iOS store on it and everything. Then Apple still instills their guidelines and everything on their stuff, but Samsung is just like whatever. Maybe it could be like that.
But even still, that doesn't stop you. Here's my thing: you make an app, okay? You made your app. If your app is that good, put it on Android. It'll blow up. Then when you want to go on Apple, you go to Apple with a different negotiation power. Hey, you need this app on your phone. It moves. I'm not giving you 30% though. But if you're a little developer, that's why that's why the people who are making over $1 million in sales ain't got nothing to say, because they're probably not getting that same split off of them. Mm-hmm. They've either got better deals or they're making so much money that 30% don't hurt them.
I guess technically this falls under the exclusive dealings side of illegal monopolies.
I don't see how
buyers or sellers to do or buy or sell all or most of certain products from a single supplier, which would be this case, where they have to get everything through Apple.
No, you have to get it. No, you don't though. You don't even have to put your app on Apple though.
Well, if you do though, you have to sell it this way, or you have to sell the product.
Yeah, because
beyond that.
Yeah, hey, look, if I start a town, if I build a town and I say, look, if you live in my town that I built, just me, I built this town, everything in it. You have to sell shit through this. This is the store. You have to sell shit through this store. But there's no other store. You don't get to come into my town and build a new store to sell shit in my town that I built. No. It's my town. You don't have, but you also don't have to come here. You can sell your shit somewhere else and be successful. A bunch of people, isn't the argument about how many people still have Androids out there? If your app is that good, sell it on Android. Go for it. What's stopping you from doing that?
It's a matter of, you know, Android or iOS. I just think in terms of iOS in particular, you can't directly sell items on the app outside of the app. You know what I'm saying?
Since when?
Or they can't.
You could always have made it. No, the argument is that you could listen. I got iPhone games right now that I can make in-app purchases on. I've always had those.
You can make the in-app purchases, but it goes through Apple first, and then it gets to them as far as the cost.
Okay. So you got two options. Set a higher price because if you feel like your stuff is valued at that much, you're not making enough. Set a higher price. Apple gets their percent, and you get what you feel like it's worth. And then see how good your game is and see if people want to spend that. But that's not happening. But you want access. See what I'm saying? The developer wants access to the iPhone user base because it's fucking humongous, right? It's a bunch of people out here with not just iPhones, with iPads, with Macs, all types of shit, with iPod touches. They want access to that user base that Apple built. And so Apple says, hey, to put your shit on here, this is the stipulations. It's no different than a company saying, hey, to come in my store and shop, you got to have on shoes, shirts, pants. Or even better, when the mall says, if you go to the mall, the little kiosk guy in the middle, he had to meet certain qualifications and the mall gets a cut. They're not mad that Apple gets a cut. They don't like the cut that Apple gets, and they're mad that they can't circumvent it anyway because Apple isn't as open source and it's tighter lipped. On Google, since it's open source, there's different ways you can finagle and get 100% of your profit. And that's cool. If you believe in your shit that much and you think it's that good, then go do that. But if you want to come play with the iPhone user base, you don't get to tell. Then obviously you do because they settled. Well, I don't know that you do. They might settling for Apple is almost always the easier thing, right? I give y'all a little bit of money. Y'all shut the fuck up. And I don't really have to change shit because y'all didn't lose.
I think they did change though. They made it so that you can reach out to your customers.
Yeah, through a link that niggas is gonna end up putting. It's gonna go to your promotions. Niggas is never gonna see your little link. I'm not buying your app direct. Listen, if I was gonna spend $10 on an in-app purchase, I'm gonna buy it off. It's got to be in the app. I got to be in the moment. When have you ever gotten paid and got an email or something and then been like, oh yeah, you know what? I should buy those extra cards in that phone game. No, it's when you're in the middle of playing it and you run out of energy, and then they're like, hey, well, for $3, you can get all your energy back and keep playing. And you're like, shit, you know what? I got $3, and you buy it. I'm not waiting for the link to come in an email. But I'm sorry, man. I get it. It's nice that there's an option for you, but that's not gonna change shit. Niggas, we know it's all about convenience, bro. It's convenience, and it's convenient if you're a person who's gonna spend $10 or $20 on a game you're playing on your phone. You're gonna do that in the app. You're not gonna wait. You're not gonna go to a link or if I click this link in the game, it'll send me an email to buy it from you directly, and now I gotta go on my computer or go on my phone and I gotta leave the game to do all. No, I want to hit the game, double tap the shit on the side 2 times, and I go purchased, and then it shows up in the game.
I think ultimately what people are gonna do is there'll be that option, and then once you make the in-app purchase, they'll say to directly support this app that you love so much. Here's a link to link to a means of buying these exact same items. You know,
how many times have you
hell, maybe they could potentially even make it cheaper that way. Like, hey, it costs this much in the in-app purchase, but if you want it cheaper, you can follow this link and buy the exact same item for less.
How many times have you been playing a game or using an app on your phone? I don't know if it does this on Androids, but you ain't got an iPhone. So how many times you been doing that and it'll pop up in the app, be like, do you love this app? Go rate it. Go give us a review. And you be like,
I get that.
ignore
that. I got that today on the app I was in.
How many times you ignored that and how many times you went and did it?
100% ignore.
I say about 98% of the time I would ignore it, but that other 2%, this nigga, he
yeah, don't be wrong. It might be
I really fuck with this app.
Like, nah, this the one.
I might throw you.
I might throw you the stars and hey, nah, this is solid. I might give you one of those.
Or if it's trash enough, or if I issue enough, and then
stay
that'd be the time
away.
they hit me.
One
Hey,
out of 5
like, all right,
stars.
cool. Y'all want me to review this for real?
You really want to review? My point is, but like you just said, 98% of the time you ignoring that shit. So guess what? When I paid the little $10 in the app to buy the ad, whatever, and I remove the ads and I get a coin boost and a diamond boost or whatever in your game, I'm ignoring your little message that tells me to go follow this link in my email that'll take me to your special site that'll give it to me. And then, nah, bro, that sounds like it's gonna take longer to process, bro. I don't want it. No, I'm trying to play now.
Personally, I agree. I do think that this is Apple's app store. If you want to pay, if you want to play, you got to pay to play.
And if your game's that good, then raise your prices so you make the money that you think you deserve to make. It's not Apple's job to pay you out. They are requiring 30% because that's how much they deem themselves to be worth. That because just allowing you access to my user base. Like I'm looking at it from a content creator standpoint. If we create a user base or a listener base that is 1 million people listening, we create that on our own, right? Mm-hmm. When we go talk to Apple, when we go talk to whoever, we have a different conversation than, or even like take Spotify. We're not on Spotify anymore. Not because we support some other people, but because I was sick of paying for Spotify separate of what I pay for other shit. But Spotify can charge me because we don't have so many subscribers that I go over there and say, hey, you need me on your site, or I should be on your site. They say, hey, you want to be on our site? You got to pay to be on our site because we have this user base that we established, and you ain't have shit to do with that. You had nothing to do with that. We have this established user base, and if you want to be advertised to this user base, then you have to pay us this.
And that's what's so interesting about this particular lawsuit is I want to know how far-reaching this exclusive dealings, illegal monopoly consideration, or how far-reaching will this be, and how many more people or monopoly applications will get hit with this exact same lawsuit.
Actually, quick question. Do we know which developers or whatever started, accused them of this to begin with? Because I'm not saying drop the exact name of the app.
Yeah, The Verge says it's this baby name maker application and some other one. If I can see. But yeah, they started it. So smaller app developers that put this together.
And I get it. You want more of your profits, or you feel like Apple's taking a lot of your profits. I understand that. And you can have that argument, discussion, whatever you want to call it. But you also have to be realistic in that you don't have to put, if your app is that good, it doesn't have to be there then. Don't put it there. Like, like a lot of people, I tell you, a lot of people, I just said last episode, a lot of people ask me, hey, are you guys on Spotify? I want to listen on Spotify. Hey, we're not on Spotify. Sorry. If you got another place where you can listen to podcasts, if you got Apple Podcasts downloaded on your phone, check us out on there. But if people say, all I have on my phone is Spotify, my music is there, my podcast, that's all I have, then, hey, that's a person I'm missing out on. And I'm not, those are people we're missing out on, and I'm not going to go pay the fee so that maybe those people are interested. I've got to build up on the places where I can build up the most efficiently and the most price efficiently. And then when I go talk to Spotify, then I can have a different conversation. Then when I want to go talk to some of these other streaming services that are price gated for creators, then it's a different conversation. But right now, you got to pay whatever they say it is because you're not that big. But do you think that the 2K app is struggling for profit share? Probably not, because Apple understands, hey, it's good business to have you over here, and you don't like 30, you don't want to give up 30%. No problem. Hey, let's talk about 15. Now we split. Like, you see what I'm saying? Because you have to be big enough. And I understand where the creators are coming from, and I want them to get their fair due. And if they really feel like they're being paid unfairly, I'm surprised that Apple settled this or charged unfairly. You got to prove to me what makes you think you should. 70% of what you make isn't enough.
They're going to introduce pricing tiers now, I guess, based on how big the app is. Maybe 30% being the highest based on the bigger apps, and then they're going to drop from there.
That doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm a huge app, that means I'm making money anywhere. I don't need to be on your thing. So I should be able to, my split with you should be less because we're making so much more money that you're still going to be making. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I'm on a big app and I'm giving you 10%, but I'm a huge app, that could be a lot more than me being a smaller app, but I'm giving you 30%. You see what I'm saying? So the bigger app I am, if I'm like the 2K app or a FIFA app, and I'm making all these in-app purchases and Apple's getting a portion of that, if I'm still giving them 30%, but I'm making millions upon millions of dollars, I feel like, yeah, I'm not going to want to give you 30%. Whereas at the bottom tier, if you have a couple hundred people that are using your app, yeah, I might need 30% of that to make this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can tier people in. I don't know. Maybe the 30% evaluation is too high on it, and maybe I don't know, but I don't see how you can tell Apple that on their platform that they created, that they've convinced people want to keep getting iPhones. Like, Apple is the reason people are buying iPhones, not buying iPhones for a specific app that's on there that's not from Apple. People are buying iPhones for Apple. It just, I don't know. We've been on this way longer than I expected, but I don't know. It just seems, damn, look at me defending the company. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, this is a
You
weird.
cheap. Yo, how dare you? Tim Apple don't need your weight.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He don't. But like, it's.
I just feel it technically does fall under under the what they consider, an illegal monopoly under that specific category, because they're the only ones that you can, go through for iOS apps and in-app purchases.
They are being punished for their app becoming popular, for their operating system becoming so popular.
They're being punished for the exclusivity of
no.
Of
but
iOS applications.
If iOS wasn't as popular as it is, nobody would give a fuck, because there isn't enough user base and there's not enough money, and people don't feel like they're getting shafted out of money. But because it's huge, now it's big enough to say your store that you created in your neighborhood, like, it's not even your neighborhood, your store that you created in your house, you have to let other people sell stuff there. You have to have other ways for people to sell things there, because it's not fair. Why? It's my house. I created it. It's not my fault that now 1 million people want to shop at my house. It's not my fault that billions of people want to shop at my house. It's still my house that I built. That's why I'm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to get off this, but it's for once, I think the company's being screwed. I actually think they're being screwed. I think they're being fucked out of. I think they're being fucked, man.
We should get Tim Apple on the pod though.
Yeah,
I'm not lying.
And
I'll reach out to my contacts, see if we can get him on.
See, finally, thank you. We can finally have Ian flex his networking finally
there we go.
at this time.
Jeez,
Yo, you're the one that made that beat, right?
Yeah.
On iTunes, I just like.
But no, I mean, I was listening most of it. I mean, not most. I listened to all of it. I can definitely see where you're coming from there as far as the principle is concerned. It's definitely a unique situation.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I don't know if the lawyers were that good or they just found some form of a loophole that enabled them to make Apple on the bend the knee and settle. But hey, they settled. Tim Apple gonna get X amount of money from everything in their ecosystem. Everyone buys subscriptions and etc. So maybe at the end of the day, maybe when they report, maybe when they report these revenues or whatever, be a drop in the bucket to their investors.
Yeah. I doubt it's gonna affect their bottom line. Normally, when these people settle, we know it's because they're not concerned. Like, whatever, fine, y'all can have that.
It's the go away check.
Yeah, that's the leave us the fuck alone money. So I know that, right? Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I hate being the one who has to defend the company, but here I am, a shill. Okay. All right. Well, we ran that topic into the mud. Console T is up, and before
still no tea. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Console T.
Before we go into Gerard's little dive for us, I was just gonna mention some of these. Gamescom was this past week, and
virtual online only event.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, I just didn't care too much. Why does my computer keep making that loud ass noise? Can y'all hear that? I hope not. Anyways, it's kind of underwhelming, honestly, but there was some stuff here or there, so we just kind of wanted to mention some of the bigger stuff. Sony specifically didn't do or say anything there, did they? Sony on their own, like anything, there's no Horizon delay. The Horizon delay, but that I don't even know that.
So that was an interesting thing because that was part of the Jeff Keighley, what they call opening night live stream he did, which was entirely too long. I'm very happy I did not watch it live because I know better. But no, so before we talked about the Horizon Forbidden West delay, technically that wasn't confirmed. It was more like people in the know were just like, yo, this is gonna get delayed. We'll just have to hear from Sony soon. So this was the first official confirmation that it got moved from holiday this year to they gave a full date. I want to say it's February 18th, 2022. And let's okay, didn't even update the release on the site or whatever. But yeah, it should be it's February 18th, 2022. Yep. So that's that. I don't think they really had any new footage or anything. It just said, yo, this is the date. I think you can maybe pre-order it in like a week or something like that. I think that's what they mentioned. So yeah, we have a firm date. So now that's what, a little over 4 or 5 months away. Yeah, which will probably much quicker than any of us anticipate.
It will. It'll be here quick. It's so many games.
Yes, that's why. Many games. Yeah, it's a lot, bro. That's why at this point I'm just like I'm focusing on what I got. The rest this year, the next year, I don't know. Like I don't know for next year. Outside of like 1 or 2 smaller games. But yeah, with that as well, there's something I wanted them to do since I got my PS5 early this year. They finally announced they have a 60 frame per second patch for Horizon Zero Dawn on PS5. Finally, so that's out now. Out as a recording. I haven't downloaded mine, honestly. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But from what I've heard and what I've seen from some videos here and there, it seems to be basically it's equivalent to the PS4 Pro mode, which is like checkerboard 4K resolution. And they just unlocked. Well, they capped the frame rate at 60, so it's just unlocked. They bumped it up, and there it is. I don't think there's really any change to resolution. So, but yeah, so that's cool. That's great. I guess other things from Gamescom. Gamescom is weird because usually Gamescom feels like a oh yeah, me too type of event after E3, where they might have a few things here that weren't at E3 for whatever reason. And they might just have updates on current stuff. But I guess the main things that they announced, they announced the Saints Row game, which is called Saints Row. It's coming out in February 25th, a week after Horizon for people with. February is getting stacked already. Yep. So yeah, and then it's gonna be for.
I think that game's gonna get pushed back, man.
I think so too, for sure. I think at least for release stuff. I
think it'll get released. I because don't get me wrong, the Saints Row games were great. And especially in a world where we don't know when the next GTA is coming. Right. This is a GTA style game that can. It's not GTA in the, we're we got guns and we're robbing people and stuff like that. But it's wacky and it's open world and you can run around and there's a bunch of random guns and shit like that. That's what Saints Row is. So it's gonna be that same type of thing, but it's obviously gonna be it's just way more wacky. There's way more stuff to it. So I just feel like. I just don't see how they're going to, even though I think it's a strong game, with February already kind of being as stacked as it is, and it being a week after people just dropped money for Horizon. I don't know, but I guess also you have to look at it. People on the Xbox side, they may really jump into this. I know.
You don't only know what's coming out for Xbox, like firm release dates for Xbox next year. We kind of know the rest of this year. We'll get to that in a bit as well because they had their own event. I can't recall if the same. No, this was in the Jeff Keighley show. It wasn't in the Xbox show. But yeah, I think most of these announcements were mostly opening night live show. So yeah, they announced that. They had a CGI trailer. It looks to be like a reboot, like a reboot. Like you're not like the president again, like in Saints Row 4 and stuff like that.
No.
It looks like it's still. So the trailer doesn't really. So I know on this side linked y'all. The announced trailer is really CGI, and it's kind of like not super crazy wacky. It's not like it's over the top as the recent Saints Row games have been, but but they did like a gameplay video separately, like a day or two later this past week, and I watched some of it, and it actually looks pretty good, and it still has some kind of wacky like combat and stuff, things flying places. So I don't know why they showed the CGI trailer instead of that. I don't know, but overall, I think it looks promising.
So they got 3 editions too.
Of course,
got their standard, it comes with the. I didn't realize that you can get the platinum edition is the one that comes. There's a remaster of Saints Row the Third, which is arguably the best one.
Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know that.
So that's cool. Pretty cool. I just wanted to look at that and see. I was like, what are they putting in there? I thought they would have done something like that. I just didn't know which one they were going to do. So it was the third that they did. Not a bad idea. So that's cool. That's cool in there too. I think people are really going to enjoy Saints Row when that comes back. It's a lot of fun. It's a shooter. It's open world. And if they take some of the GTA stuff where there's like the online and all that, I think it'll be fun. It's wacky. So people will jump into that, I think. That's what's up. I like that.
They showed a bit more for actually not more. They showed the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty much covering, going through all the 9 movies. At first I thought it was gonna be like a compilation of some of the other games they've made, just I don't know, remastered or something, but it looks like they're just doing a retelling of it. And I mean, it did look good as far as high quality wise stuff. I think it's been delayed a couple of times. I think it was originally going to come out sometime this year, but COVID and everything.
Yeah,
it's coming. They slapped spring 2022 on it. So I'd say look into that, especially if you're into the Lego Star Wars games. I'm not going to go over that till later. Um, they had this South Korean studio. Oh, they made this game called Black Desert Online. Oh, I've heard of this game. It's like an MMO type thing. It's supposed, I guess, I think it's on PlayStation 4. But they're making a game called it's a weird Dokev, like Dokev.
Oh yeah.
And it's a new open world action adventure game. It's kind of like a mixture of a bunch of different things. It's got like a Pokemon-esque type thing on it. It's got like parkour type abilities. You can run around and like float. And like you have like a clip where like you propel yourself in the air and you just open the umbrella and you float down Mary Poppins style. Not like the dress, but like the clothing. And you're playing as like children, but they're kind of like stylish. You know, South Korea is really big into their, you know, fashion and everything. And it has a little bit of K-pop, I guess. There's a little music aspect too. But I mean, overall, visually, it looks kind of crazy because like there's a lot of action stuff in it. It's hard to get an idea of how this game will go, but it has like this really photorealistic type look to it with some of the little fantasy type monsters that are in it. It's interesting. I'll keep my eye on it just to see how this kind of goes about or how this kind of develops. I don't think they gave a full release date yet or a year, so I think it's really early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because I
definitely say look at
like
the trailer though.
Yeah, I like the visuals. There's something
cool.
here. I'm in. There's something to it.
It looks cool for sure. Yeah.
And if it really is Pokemon-esque,
okay. I don't know why I just now thought about that. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
I mean, they literally say on their website, Dokev is a creature collecting open world action adventure. Now, whether you actually have to fight them and all that type of stuff, I don't have to really like dive into it. But hey, look, any game out there, the same reason I bought Temtem, which I need to get back into, any game out there that puts any pressure on an open world Pokemon style game, I'm here for. So
yeah,
sign me up. Sign me up. Put all the pressure you can on Game Freak when it comes to this. So
yeah, I think because it's more of an action adventure oriented game too, doesn't have like, you know, Temtem, I mean, has my opinion, has a really nice art style. And it focuses a lot on the double battles, but you know, it's like you have the top down, you walk around with your monster behind you.
Yeah.
You know, you throw the cards to the Pokeballs, and you know, they have
typing
moves.
Pokemon.
So yeah, that's more like a blueprint. This is like they say it's a monster capturing type game, but when you look at it first, you don't think, oh yeah, that's clearly copying this and the other. It's not. It to me, it looks like they're taking the idea of capturing monsters and using them for battle, and not just ripping it directly. So I'll give them that. That's cool. I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, that's definitely a game that like looks like PCs will be. I mean, if it's looking like this, the frame rate was a little rough here and there, like noticeably. PCs might be sweating a little bit, but you know, maybe they'll tone it down. Like, oh wait, we need to make a game that works, and it'll work on PS5 and maybe Xbox Series X. So I don't even know if they make stuff for Xbox. Let's just say, well, I'm assuming it's just going to be PS5 and PC for right now. This definitely won't be running no PS4 unless you want your PS4 to like explode or something.
Yeah, I mean, it does look crazy. Oh my God, I'm looking at the dude skated and then he's like with an umbrella, like
that's what. Yeah, it looked kind of smooth. I was like, dang, what's this game going? What's this game got going on? So
that alone is pretty fire. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of a lot of stuff going on here. Yeah,
for sure, man. Yeah, it's got a lot. It's got interesting stuff going on here. Excuse me. I
definitely want to look for.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it for sure. One of the other big things, I guess, another CGI trailer. It was rumored for E3, but it didn't happen in E3, so it made sense to happen here. The people that made the XCOM games, you know, the cover tactical RPG, strategy RPG, they announced Marvel's Midnight Suns, and they showed you know, characters we already are aware of that aren't really truly Midnight Suns type side of Marvel, like, you know, Wolverine, Iron Man. I think they showed Captain America in it as well, and they showed more of the other Midnight Suns characters like Blade, Ghost Rider, which I mean, Ghost Rider is a very interesting design. So I mean, they all, you know what, the first thing I think of when I saw this, because like the end they show them like all walking towards the camera of like the gold and black armor type suits, but they take notes from their original uniforms and stuff. It reminded me a bit of like the Injustice games, where they kind of have them with like this bigger, more official armor look for a lot of their outfits. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but that's the first thing I think, where mostly, they're used to like wearing like clothing, whatever and everything. They kind of got more armored look to them. Right. So it was a CGI trailer. It has some other deeper cut characters like Magic, which is cool. She's more on the X-Men side or mutant side of things. So yeah, I mean, me as a Marvel head, I'm curious about it. They did say there would be it's coming out in March next year, March 2022. They said that they'll show gameplay sometime next month. So yeah, I'll be looking out for that, and we'll talk about it if it looks interesting. Yeah. They also showed Call of Duty Vanguard. I think they showed like an actual demo. I didn't really watch it just because not too interested in it personally. I don't know if y'all looked up the videos or anything for it. Call of Duty. Call of Duty Vanguard.
Man. Look, man, with Call of Duty, I think they need to. Well, first things first, right? Nobody right now. Activision Blizzard have bigger issues going on.
They still don't really have their name on any of these any of this Call of Duty stuff. Like they're really high. They're high. Like it's not like Activision presents in all big letters. Just like here's Call of Duty, and that's
I bet.
Here's Call of Duty.
Hey,
right.
Y'all still like Call of Duty, right?
Activision. Right.
Yeah. And
I'm curious if they're gonna hide.
Real silent in the corner, in the bottom.
Isn't like them little tiny small print credits like copyright Activision or whatever.
They got that shit on a super small lower third. It's the lowest of thirds.
Right.
It's the barely right here. Activision is right. Yeah. It's just that that's the first issue. Second issue is that World War II again. And look, man, I don't care how fancy you make it, how nice you make it look. You don't want to play, like, don't get me wrong, they went too far with like what was that one that we didn't like in Advanced Warfare or something like that, I think it was. We're doing all like the wall running Infinite Warfare, maybe is the one where they were doing all the not space? Advanced Warfare, the space shit. Yeah, whatever that one was. That shit that was too far. But maybe they could do something like that again, just with maybe in a different direction that just makes it feel a little better. But I just wasn't a fan of that. But I'm also not a fan of constantly going back to like World War II and shit like that. Like it's just like, oh, here we go again. More history-based bullshit, more whack, dusty guns. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Like look, man, I'm gonna keep playing Black Ops. And I barely play it now, but because it's so big, I just go through deleting it and reinstalling what I want to play again and shit like that. But I'm gonna keep playing Black Ops when I feel like playing a Call of Duty game, or if I ever feel like playing. And obviously, I haven't played. Like I said, I haven't been playing it, not necessarily because of what they've done, but I just not to say I support them, but I just haven't been playing because it just hasn't been what I'm on. But I don't know how much people really want to keep going back to World War II every couple of years, and this is what I mean by them being on this forced cycle of yearly releases and then eventually hurting you. There's not enough ideas. They're shooters. They could go another year just doing what they've been doing with Call of Duty already, the one we already have. They could just keep going with that, but they're not. Like instead, they're forcing this newer Call of Duty again. And it's not newer. It's the same thing that you did before. Now you've upgraded it. So my old-timey pistol looks better now. And
then they're gonna drop this skin on the Warzone or whatever, Warzone 3.0 or something.
Why don't you just integrate? There's I thought this last Call of Duty did a really good job of having those different bundle packs and theme packs where you could have a whole setup for your character from their outfit to the type of guns they're using in different packs. And you could buy them if you wanted to. You could try to earn them, get them out of boxes that you earn. I thought they were good. I thought there was good balance with that. But now, and with Warzone, you could just put in more packs to give people more skins and stuff You could have done a World War II theme to put into the game if you wanted, but they just refuse. And I don't know, man. I'm underwhelmed. Wasn't gonna jump on the new Call of Duty anyway. I've long said I only jump on the Black Ops. Black Ops are the only ones that are gonna get me out of my seat day one anyway. But even with that, when you take into account that this isn't a Black Ops, when you take into account everything that Activision Blizzard are dealing and going through at the moment and everything they've been accused of, you take all that into consideration, plus the fact now that they're doing some boring shit again, like going back to World War II. Yeah, I'm just,
man, it'll be kind of just see something different, really. And I don't want to really praise EA anything at all like that because they got their own stuff going on that end too. That remind me of something actually that you need to talk about actually, Derek. After I'm done, I just remembered. If you want to talk about it, I shared with you earlier this week. Yeah, I kind of hope that Battlefield 2042 kind of takes it over this Call of Duty, at least in some fashion. I know it's not going to happen just because Call of Duty is just huge. It's the best selling game every year like here in the US. It's always the best selling game. And even with all the stuff that's been, everything that's going on with Activision Blizzard and the disgusting stuff there, the vast majority of people aren't going to know about it. And from vast majority of people are going to buy the game, probably not even because of that. So, in spite of it, I should say. But Battlefield 2042 looks superb to me. It just looks great. It just kind of has that big current gen appeal, or at least for what they show. They haven't even showed much the last gen ones. But it just looks hype and exciting and hectic. And this Call of Duty technically looks great. But again, like you said, it's World War II. It's crusty. You're going to be, somewhere in Europe, maybe, somewhere in this, pretty much somewhere in Europe, multiple places in Europe, Germany, Italy, whatever. Poland. Yeah, it's just going to be those places. Been there, done that over and over. But at 120 frames per second, I guess, for some people.
Yeah.
But the one thing I just remembered, oh God, I can't remember if this was in the. Yeah, actually, no, it was in the opening night live stream. Some independent studio was making their own football game.
Yeah,
it's called UFL.
Yep.
And I was kind of surprised. I was like, wait, I didn't even know someone else was doing this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you looked at the trailer, looked a little bit.
I'm glad you mentioned it again because I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot too until I said EA and it triggered FIFA, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to say one thing. Oh man, fuck! I didn't want to be on this too long. I'm not gonna be on this long. Okay. UFL football. It looks. I'm glad that there is a competitor. The thing is, it's not competing with FIFA as a whole. It's really competing with Ultimate Team. They have like 5,000 players, they said, that are licensed to be in this game. So they don't have to worry about team licensing, which is a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
The focus is going to be on competitive play. So there's going to be like a lot of people playing each other. So I want to hop into something like this early, because if you can hop into games like this early and really understand the game mechanics and grow with the game, you could be at the top of it, pretty quick. And if it blows up, especially when it comes to like esports and stuff like that, you never know where it could take you if you're playing something early. So for that, and just because it's competing against Ultimate Team, which is one of the things that I criticize a lot when it comes to FIFA, I want to try it out. So I'm not knocking them for that. The graphics look great from what I saw. We'll have to really take into it. But I hate the fact that this is being billed as something that's going to fight against FIFA, because it's not. Like, let me tell you this straight up, it's not. It might fight against Ultimate Team specifically. You might see a lot of people, streamers and stuff, who play Ultimate Team. You might see them trying this out, giving this a shot on the side, especially if you can make the controls and stuff. If you can make them mirror FIFA controls, or you can just map your controls however you want, which is probably how they'll do it, just so they don't get into any sort of licensing problems. If you can just map your controller how you want, so you can map and plays like FIFA, and then you just have to work with those mechanics, I can see people switching over. Not switching over, but giving it a shot.
Yeah.
But this doesn't. No, go ahead. Go. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna add that. Why don't you continue? Because I have another thought about it as well. Because I do want to see this be successful. Because FIFA
Yeah,
is too
no.
much, and PES is just kind of there, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not even PES isn't even PES anymore, but that's a whole different day conversation.
E-football.
E-football, yeah. So, but the thing about this is it's not a real FIFA competitor because FIFA has more than Ultimate Team. As much as we act sometimes like it doesn't, FIFA has more than Ultimate Team. FIFA has career mode. FIFA has Volta Football. FIFA has career modes, which is manager and player career modes. And you also have your play nows and your kickoffs. And a lot of what comes with a soccer game, if you want to play, people want to play these soccer games is or football games, is that people want to be able to play with their favorite players, but also their favorite players on their favorite teams. I want to be able to play with Liverpool. And even if you have a bunch of Liverpool players in this game that are licensed to be in it, and I can create a team and I can do all that, there's an appeal to that. That if you're a certain type of player, I'm a type of player who would enjoy that. But I'm also the type of player who sometimes it's fun when somebody wants to challenge me at FIFA that we can do the same thing like on 2K. Oh, you're a Man City fan. You're a Manchester United fan. You're a Real Madrid fan. Well, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm going to get my team. You get your team. Let's go at it. And you can do it. Whereas in this, you're not going to have that. It's going to be, okay, you've built your team of your favorite players. I've built my team of my favorite players. And now we're going to go at it. And there's a lot of fun in that. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying the writing on the wall of like trying to tackle FIFA's dominance. No, a lot of people just want to play with their favorite teams in jerseys that are licensed jerseys where the players look exactly like that. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure the players in this will look pretty well too, because they're supposed to be licensed to be in the game. But yeah, it's going to be a little different. And when you're missing the rest of the game, the career modes and stuff like that, that's a big deal. Hopefully, though, maybe this can grow and maybe it can make that sort of open source football game. And I think maybe that's where it needs to start, is an open source football game. Maybe it doesn't need to be many licensed players, but if you can just license some of the teams and then just fill in generic players, and now you're building clubs with generic teams. Like I play World 11 on Switch. It's some little, basic soccer simulator, but they just have the countries licensed. None of the players are licensed. There's some, and names are just names. They have some names that you're like, oh, there was a player who played for Brazil that used to be named that, but his name in this game is not that name. It's not that player. They don't play the same position. It's that type of thing. You could do something like that for a full soccer game where you can have career modes and things like that. That will really, I think, push FIFA's boundaries, because that's what people are looking for. Something that's going to push FIFA's boundaries on all aspects, not just Ultimate Team. But Ultimate Team is what makes $1 billion a year. So that's what people are going to try to fight against. But I think people are really missing out on a big market. If somebody made right now a full FIFA sim where your player can, make contracts and do interviews and earn money and, build up a little apartment area or do anything that can just show your progression through building a world-class soccer player or a world-class soccer team, you're going to hit. You're going to hit, because FIFA, even though as somebody who's playing the closed FIFA 22 beta, I don't know how much I'm allowed to speak of what's happening in it, but because it doesn't end until September 2nd. They're taking steps, but they're not taking the biggest steps. They're not making it the biggest deal yet. And yeah, man, that's where I would like to see people really innovate. This is really, really cool. This is really cool. I'm glad this is happening. I am going to check this out. I'm going to play. And I said it's free to play. First of all, it's free to play. So nobody has to even spend money to jump into this, which is a big deal, because trust me, I'm interested to see how they're going to do this, because with knowing that your player base is so limited with 5,000 players, I'm very curious to see how they're going to do this with packs and stuff like that. Because that's one of the biggest issues with Ultimate Team. To play the latest version of Ultimate Team, no matter what you do, you have to pay $60 or $70, whatever the price is, to buy FIFA to play Ultimate Team. There's an entry point to play. You can't just download Ultimate Team separate from the game. Which if they did that, I do think FIFA could be looked at in a much better light, but they won't do that. So this being free to play is a big help. But yeah, I still want more. Maybe I'm greedy. I don't know. I'm a greedy football fan, but I want more. I want more than just this. This helps, but I want more. So it's cool, and it's cool to see some teams partnering with the game. I know I've seen some reports of that. West Ham United partnered with the new game, so hopefully more teams are into it and they see the potential in it and they give them a shot. I really, really want to see how it play out and how that game grows, because maybe it just starts as something like this and then they can grow into building out those other modes down the road. So who knows? I'm not killing it or anything. Definitely interested in it. My takes on UFL football. Hopefully that was quick enough.
Oh, no, I think it was pretty concise. No, like well, yeah, you took one. Well, not took. You said one of the things I was going to say about just being free to play as like another thing that goes for it. What I was thinking is like, because I was just looking up on the YouTube, just out of curiosity, they have a dedicated UFL channel, and it's got like, I mean, as of the past 3 days, it's got like 267,000 views, which I think is pretty good, especially on its own site, where like the Game Awards one is like 49K. IGN's is 332K. So there's definitely buzz. There's definitely a lot of people that are feeling the same way. Just kind of tired of the nonsense that FIFA has and FUT and
same
all that.
Same old, yeah.
And so I think what can also help it too, and maybe they'll probably do this over time, because I think we're still a good ways away from seeing something like that come out. Maybe we'll need to figure out a way to either partner with some streamers or like find some sort of a deal where they can get more marketing when they get closer to release, and maybe a beta or something like that. Because I know EA and PlayStation are always together like that when it comes to FIFA stuff. So
yeah,
I don't think PlayStation will be like, who? And want to partner with them as well and piss off one of their probably their biggest sellers just on the platform in general. So but yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, y'all know I'm not really into soccer, sacrilege, soccer, football, etc. games in general. But I think it's cool that there's somebody else coming out here to try and add more to the world of the soccer games. So yeah, that was probably one of the more bigger things, in my opinion, as well from it. They closed out with Death Stranding director's cut. They just showed. I mean, it's going to be full 60 frames, 4K. It's going to have some more different ways to carry your cargo across the land and all that. Some different picture mode, just a bunch of extra stuff. And it comes out late September. And so, yeah, really, I think it's more so people that have the game and maybe just didn't finish it or haven't started it. This would be even more incentive to do it. Just it is what it is. I'm not too interested in Death Stranding, but that's what Jeff Keighley chose to end it on, because he loves Hideo Kojima. And yeah. But yeah, the only other things, Xbox had a stream before it, which I think was pretty mid overall. The few highlights I will say is they showed more of The Gunk, which is a new game by the dudes that made SteamWorld Dig and those games. And they said it, they didn't say in the video, but I looked on their website, a little blog they had, and it's coming out in December. Basically, you control a character on this alien world. I think it's a black chick, actually. He has a black chick. She's really cartoonish looking. And she has this big old thing on the arm, and she basically clean up all this stuff called the gunk around the environment. So when they clean it up, it makes the world look more alive, thriving, stuff like that. Overall, it's interesting. One, because I like SteamWorld games, and I trust them to make at least some fun and interesting.
Yep.
And it'll be on Game Pass, so you already know what that means. They show a bit more Forza Horizon 5. I mean, it just looks good. But the main thing they show with that too is they announced a custom Forza Horizon 5 controller. Basically, it's like the regular Xbox Series controller, but it's like a translucent yellow with splashes of pink and blue, with a white, like a silverish white D-pad, and it's a pretty out there design. I kind of dig it. But it's just kind of there. I think that's some of the colors they're choosing for this Forza game. And then the big thing they had, one of the bigger things. This was on Jeff Keighley's show, actually. I'm just talking about an Xbox because Xbox. They had Joseph Staten come out, talk about Halo again. First thing they showed, they announced the release date. It's coming December 8th. That's campaign and multiplayer. So pretty much you're paying for the campaign. The multiplayer is still free to play unless you have Game Pass and everything. So you got everything downloaded. And yeah, they just kind of talked about some stuff from the multiplayer things and things like that. So cool to finally have a date. It's coming this year. They're barely making it. So it's been a 13-month pushback delay to putting this version of the game out. So multiplayer I'm already sold on. Don't know about campaign yet. They haven't showed it again since last year. Well, like true gameplay of it. But on their blogs, their end of the month blog they put out earlier this week or late last week, they said that they're pretty much in the phase of like just honing on a bunch of bugs. They're pretty much in the super polishing phase. And they said when they're done in the super polishing phase, they're going to show more of the campaign. So I'm predicting as early as October, maybe November, if it's way more polishing they got to do than I think. But here's hoping Halo comes back and it is big as it's been since Halo 3 Halo Reach days. So yeah, that's mostly Gamescom, in my opinion.
Did I miss you? Did you give the Sifu release date? Did you talk about that?
Oh, my bad. Thank you. Yeah. They there's another trailer for Sifu. It's coming out. Oh, as a matter of fact, I know it's February as well.
It's February 22nd. Yeah, I just wanted to get it out because that's one of them.
Same day.
I get interested in those games from time to time, but you know.
So I'll probably be that guy that gets Sifu that week instead of Horizon, just because. $70, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Horizon getting us. You know, Horizon getting us.
I know, and y'all can talk all about it when we get there next year. I'll get you. And
Gerard's got to finish the first one first.
That's it, man.
Gerard don't even understand where we going with this yet. You ain't understand, bro.
I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just don't know. I'm gonna try a third time and gelling with the original game when I finish No More Heroes 3.
You know what? No, Gerard, this is what you're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do for you, bro. Give me your login. Oh, I'm a play Horizon for you.
Are you serious?
Until you get to the interesting part of the story, then I'm gonna stop.
Oh God.
Then really? You go, and then it's gonna cloud save, so you'll still have to save on your PS5. Then you get back on it and start playing from there, and then you start going.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you know what I need to do. What I need to do is because I'm gonna come back to it sometime soon. Hopefully before
Lance Reddick, bro. Lance Reddick, bro.
Yeah,
just all I'm gonna say.
I heard his character. He
just Lance Reddick. Just Lance Reddick.
I think I'm just gonna focus on the story missions. I'm gonna ignore the side missions. I'm gonna just beeline it.
Yes, dude. You can do that too, especially at this point. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for having the full game experience, but just get through. Like, I think the first game. You know, now that I'm out of the what's the word? The puppy dog phase with the game.
Oh, the honeymoon phase.
The honeymoon phase with it. I still love the game. Don't get me wrong. Still love Horizon, but I understand where it can lose people, and I got to play it in the midst of hype. So
actually,
huh?
I don't understand.
I can understand some parts of the opening are a little rough.
I don't know.
But if I was hyped when I played it. So when I got there, I was like, oh, okay. And I got through a lot of the parts that I think people struggle through because I was hyped. And if you never had that hype when playing it.
Yeah, I played outside the hype period. So I honestly,
I think if you've been playing at the same time as us, and we've been like, nah, bro, just wait till you get here.
I didn't have a PS4 at the time either. I got the PS4 later that same year, and I got Horizon with it for cheap because I was like, yo, everyone's talking about Horizon. I want to try this out. And it just didn't grab me the first time immediately. And I've talked about this in the pod before. And when I got the PS5 early this year, I played a little bit more, and I did like a little more, but I got distracted by other games. So I just haven't gone back to it like that. It didn't really hook me. Because I know all y'all love the game. Hell, we got, what was it? Couple friends in chat was like, oh, I think I might take that day off or whatever, just to play it all day. And I'm like, man, what am I missing? I hate that. It sucks to be the one. Like, I'm not even saying, oh, this game sucks. Just it doesn't grab me as much as y'all. Yeah. So I feel like, what am I fucking missing? So maybe I just haven't gotten to a part that really. Maybe it's a part of the story just hasn't gotten me super engaged yet. But I'm gonna come back to it for sure. I'm probably gonna be done with No More Heroes 3. I'm playing No More Heroes 3. I'm streaming it, etc. I really, really like the game. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I'll probably get that done before you even get to next week's pod. Real rap.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Gamescom this year. A few more things than last year I can recall. So I marginally better, but still kind of the E3 part 2 leftovers.
Bro. Okay. All right, man. It's time for our Spurs. Our first. What was I saying? I don't know. I can't say words. It's time for our first spoilers of the day for Marvel's What If episode 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Episode 3.
All right. Just have to make sure this year. You know what I'm saying? I have to make sure.
Episode 3. 3 out of 9 episodes. I double checked it yesterday.
Okay. So we're 3 out of 9.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say about this before we dive deep into it is I still the stories are not connected, or they are. I don't know.
I don't know. This one feels like it's its own thing. I think each story might be their own thing, but
the first two felt slightly connected.
They kind of did, yeah.
And then, but this one felt like it was some completely different. But then
maybe some will be connected.
Kind of, not really, because in the first episode, it was her who defeated Thanos.
Who?
Wait, what?
Captain Carter?
Captain, yeah.
Oh, it's my Red Skull?
No, she defeated Red. What do you mean? She didn't defeat Thanos.
She defeated Thanos. Or there was a mention of defeating Thanos in that.
The first episode?
In the first episode.
I'd have to go back and watch that.
I'd have to as well. I don't remember.
And then in this next one, maybe I'm tripping, huh?
Yeah, bro. I think you got episodes 1 and 2
getting stuff mixed up.
I might have to. I might have to go back and double check. I don't recall, but
the only reason 1 and 2 seemed a little disjointed was because of the shields, right? No, not the shield. Sorry. The reason is 1 and 3.
Yeah, they alluded to that Cap was still frozen.
The Captain America shield is in 2 and 3. We saw it in this one towards the end in the ice, and we saw it in the second one in the collector's room. But obviously, in the first episode, it was Peggy Carter who got it, and she was Captain Britain. So the shield is different. So that's the only disconnect. But maybe they are just all one-offs. I don't
know.
I don't know.
Episode 3 definitely solidified, to me, made me feel like, okay, because they're all one-offs. Because like some of the marketing beginning, like when I remember they showed the scene where it was like supposed to be that circle pan of like all the Avengers in New York, and it showed like Captain Britain and a couple other characters. And I was like, wait. So I don't know. Maybe we have to keep going. Maybe it's something they're gonna do in the last 3 episodes or some shit. I don't know.
And make all of them cross over or tie together in some way. Yeah. But okay. Then, anyways, we get into this one. It's called "What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes?" And they get right to it. Off like they don't really waste our time with it. We see Fury and
Black Widow
riding around, and he's giving his little Avenger speech. I do like how much they reference that speech, and like how everybody's kind of tired of it already, and they don't even have the Avengers yet. I thought that was fucking hilarious. They just they would keep mentioning it. I thought that was crazy because Fury's like, I wrote the speech. Anyways, I thought it was funny. So we got to see that, and then Tony pops up, and he's doing his thing, and they're trying to recruit him in. He's like, yo, I don't want to do it. I'm cool. And then they try to sneak him his little antidote, but he gets hit with something else and just falls to the ground a couple seconds later. And they realize Tony's dead. And so we got like 30 seconds of Robert Downey Jr. in this episode.
Well, actually, that wasn't even him voicing this character.
Oh, he didn't voice it?
No. So this episode was interesting in that aspect. Black Widow, Tony. I think they're the only ones in the first.
He wasn't the one in the first episode either.
I don't think they came.
So
back
Robert Downey Jr. isn't. I know Scarlett Johansson didn't come back. We knew that one.
Yeah.
I thought they said Robert Downey Jr. I don't be looking at the credits either. I don't watch credits, so I didn't check.
I do check him for this. I did check him for this one because I wasn't sure if that was Mark Ruffalo for Hulk, and it was.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty. Well, we'll get to that part, but that one was interesting for a couple of reasons.
Interesting. So it wasn't even right. Well, all right. That's why it was only 30 seconds of him. Didn't even need him. Knock him off.
Good sound alike though.
No, he did sound alike. him. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a good idea. Yeah,
it was cool. And and which is interesting because you could tell, like even Ashley could tell that Black Widow wasn't Scarlett Johansson. Like she didn't sound like it wasn't a bad voice for Black Widow. It wasn't like the voice didn't fit, but it just you knew it wasn't Scarlett Johansson. So definitely Tony's voice actor was better. Well, just fit what we were used to hearing from the MCU, not better. Because I thought the girl who did Scarlett Johansson was just fine, really.
I haven't had a problem with any voice actors so far.
No issue with her. And Tony dies. And one thing I thought was weird here is, right, so I guess it's because Black Widow was the one who injected it, or whose job was to actually inject it into Tony, why she was the one arrested for it. But if they're both there and they both like, wouldn't Fury be so Fury is just without like nobody can question him. He never gets in trouble for anything because he was there too with her. So,
but he's not the one that injected him.
Yeah, he was the one that injected.
She had the needle the whole time. So
yeah, and Nick Fury is kind of, especially at this point of
like
these
movies,
untouchable,
man. If you right there with me,
but
we were both in the room when he got killed, so I should be under some sort of investigation.
Hey,
I feel like it's who's gonna question Nick Fury though.
You ain't gotta worry about when you're the one calling the shots of who does the investigation. It's this classic shit, man. Hey.
Oh, true.
Classic shit, yeah.
True. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, they do their thing, and he basically sets her up to be able to hands her the little syringe back, and is like, "Yeah, get out of here. I know they're not going to be held by them little whatever. You're gonna be out of here." And she dips off and does her thing, and then we get to go to First we get to see the Hammer, Coulson and the Hammer, and they are. I thought that was a funny scene. You know, Thor lands and he's fighting this shit or whatever, fighting through shit. He's like, "Oh, he's got great hair.
Oh, he's beautiful."
It's an accurate description, sir.
Yo, I love that Coulson was here, bro.
This is the official description. It's in the bio.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Here,
you know what you want me to say. This man is gorgeous. I thought that was hilarious.
And then what's his name? Hawkeye comes and he's like, "Oh, damn, he was lying."
He said he wasn't lying about the hair, man. This guy really is
beautiful.
This man is beautiful.
That was a clear shot on him because my eyes was distracted by the marvel that is this man's hair.
No, that was great. And they have their whole thing. He's kicking everybody's ass. Coulson's paying attention, and Hawkeye's, holding his weapon. And again, another mysterious action. Hawkeye appears to slip, lose control, and hit Thor.
Straight in the heart. Bow.
Straight in the heart.
Pinpoint accurate.
Thor Dunzo by one arrow.
Yup.
Okay, we take that.
Odin's son downed by mortal
arrows by one mortal arrow.
One mortal arrow.
Okay. A special arrow that they had ready for a god that
they didn't know existed.
They didn't know existed. Yeah. Come on, Dra. Positive spin me for this one.
No, I'm trying.
I thought Ian was gonna positive spin it, but
No, I'm trying to think. Like, Thor is a demigod, so he's not
He's not all the way impenetrable.
Yeah, and I'm guessing since it's supposed to be,
he didn't have on any armor or anything.
He got grounded, literally. He got grounded because this was haha. Yeah, but he's supposed to be. because it's supposed to be like Thor 1 stuff where he got grounded.
Yeah.
He wasn't worthy of the owner, so he didn't have all the superpowers at that time. So I think he's subject to being equivalent to being like mortal, or he's still strong and everything, but I don't think he has like impenetrable skin and stuff. So it just so happened he got shot in the chest and he did, and that sucked. That's kind of what my thinking was for that, which is crazy. I think it was any other movie version of Thor that we had. No, that shouldn't have happened.
No, but in a what if we let it ride.
And he was just wearing the shirt at that time, like it's supposed to be based on where New Mexico, wherever that's supposed to be.
Yeah. He was. It's not like he was wearing armor or anything that it pierced. So I'm not harping on it. I still enjoyed this episode. I'm just saying it seemed a little.
It's kind of funny. He was like, "Rip."
Yeah, real
just
quick,
like that.
Real quick. we got to see Coulson out here still sniffing the dude, smell like lavender.
It's like he smells good too. I was like, what are y'all doing?
Even just rotting corpse smells amazing.
Smells amazing.
Is that how it be?
I thought that was crazy.
This nigga smells better than me dead on a good day.
Right. Crazy.
And then we get to see Hawkeye suffer his same shit out the blue. He's in there. First, he's tripping because he's like, I don't slip, I don't make mistakes. Like, how could I have done this? Like, and he's like, you know, I didn't shoot. I swear I didn't shoot. He's already tripping, beating himself up about it. And then next thing you know, Hawkeye's donezo. Meanwhile, we have Miss Ross and Black Widows went and found Ross. So what, Draw?
No, continue. Nah, I'll wait.
Black Widow went and found Miss Ross to do some, you know, whatever bio yada yada yada. See what could have happened in here. Do some research. She goes over there, meets up with her, and they are doing their research. They realize that the syringe never actually released anyway, so it couldn't have even came from it. So it must be something else, and they're all confused. That's when she gets the call from Fury about fuck you, Ian. That's when she gets. It's a reaction now. It's a reaction now.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm really hoping I don't sneeze again, but I can feel it.
You're like, it's time for it.
Time to concede.
It's fine, man. This is not weakness. This is strength.
Because what could I?
We tell each other over sneezes, brother.
Yeah. What can you do, man? But yeah, after they do the thing, she Widow gets the call from Fury. Well, they say they need to go. She starts to realize Widow somehow, I guess, sees something in the distance or hears and realizes they're about to be attacked. And as she gets the call, and then she gets a call from Fury, or she tries to call Fury. She calls Fury, and Fury's dealing with what we'll get back to in a second. And she is over there. Fury's like, you need to find Banner. And she's like, well, I think I did. Who happens to be hiding out there with Miss Ross. And I'm saying Miss Ross, I can't remember. Is it Jennifer Ross? It's
bro, I've literally seen that for that Hulk movie once, and it's been so long. But I find it interesting because this is all from that movie.
Yeah.
So it's the first time Mark Ruffalo plays that iteration of Bruce Banner,
even though it wasn't him.
Yeah, so I was kind of, and it was him voicing too, so that was pretty cool.
Wait.
It's Edward Norton's.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he used to play Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah, Edward, yeah.
In that movie. Yeah, wow, that's such a long time ago now. That's crazy. Man. So many things have changed. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, honestly. Because we just introduced the Mark Ruffalo, big Bruce Banner Hulk in Avengers, etc. Because all that stuff. And that was neat.
So to see him come out here, that was cool, and he did a good job. They made a big deal about how much he can't die. Over and over, he's like, "Yeah, I can't die. And you guys be safer from away from me," and all these blah 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 blah.
This man caught the L of a lifetime.
For real,
grotesque way to die, bro.
Super death flagged himself. I was like, "Come on, bro." At first, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's right." Unless, and then,
damn,
I did think it was crazy to like. I mean, I get it. We're following the movie, so whatever happens, and then the military is attacking and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, straight from the movie. Yeah, I remember.
But they're trying to get away and they're trying to stop him from shooting, but somebody shoots Hulk anyway. And they're like, "Yo, we're all clear. We didn't shoot. It wasn't us." But it doesn't matter. He's Hulk now, and he's out for blood. And so Hulk is doing his thing, and out of nowhere, as in the middle of the fight, we just see this nigga start,
swole,
blowing up, and then literally blew up.
He exploded. Man, I was like, what the hell? And then you see his girl there crying, "Oh, he can't die. Oh my god, he can't."
Yes,
but he just did though.
You just watched it happen.
With the right motivation, you can die too.
Yeah, you can die too, man. You blew that nigga right up. I was like, damn, that That's a crazy way to kill Hulk.
That is crazy.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I think that's the closest we'll get to the flying up Thanos's butt thing that people want to see.
I actually forgot about that. Oh my god!
Everybody wanted Ant-Man to fly up Thanos' ass and murder his blood, but
why you just do that?
It's simple.
I completely forgot about that shit.
Game over, man.
That's so
and
shit. Oh man. Damn.
So that's probably about the closest we're gonna get to that, I think. And wait, hey, well, hold on, Drew. I just said there's 6 more episodes of What If. Yeah, you might be a whole.
What if Ant-Man defeated Thanos?
What if Ant-Man defeated Thanos? What if Ant-Man actually did the thing? If they just name that the episode,
Ant-Man does the thing.
Goated episode already. Goated. You already know what's coming. You know what's happening. Goated.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Yeah. So
You see that man clutch up. But
I know. A small price to pay. Mikey, I know you know the memes. I know you do. Don't act like it. I know you pay attention to social media.
A small price.
Saw that Spiderman trailer, that leak trailer spreading. I know you know. I know you're gonna be listening to one of your people. Hey, you heard these 3 young black podcasters are talking about a potential episode of What If season 2 or something. Hey, look.
Damn.
Hey, jokes on jokes.
Yo, look. That's different level of shit, bro. I wouldn't, if they ever did that, crying. Oh, I'm crying. I'll cry laughing.
That would be incredible.
Fucking cry laughing. So then we got so that happened. Let's double back now. We go back to this whole scene, that whole scene up till Hulk dying. We're kind of going back and forth. Fury was dealing with Loki decided to come to Earth and avenge his brother's death. So he brought the whole Asgardian army. He came down. I like that they didn't even let him get his speech off for real. Fury, that's because that's when Fury's phone started ringing when Romanoff had called him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I am Loki, crown prince of that bring like, all right, bro. Look, are you get that?
You get it. You got antler horns. Cool.
Bro, yeah, come on, bro. You're okay. You're in charge, and you angry about something. And he's like, you're gonna kneel. And he's like, yeah. The thing about that is, bro, like, nah, we don't really do that. So I hear what you're trying to say, but nah, we're not kneeling. You're gonna have to start killing. Go for it. And then obviously Loki pulls out the Tesseract, or I guess it's Tesseract, right? And
yes,
or it's a frost giant box. I just assumed it's Tesseract and blue.
Oh no. You're it was just some frost giant thing or something.
Not really the Tesseract. Yeah, I guess it's something from
because he didn't get the Tesseract yet.
I just figured it's in a different world. It could be the Tesseract. I wasn't sure. I need to watch somebody smarter than me talk about this episode and tell me what that exactly was. But he died. Whatever it was, he shot a bunch of ice out of it and froze a bunch of shit up and made like a little ice tower and all types of shit. It was a pretty big deal. And as Fury's trying to explain to him, like, yo, look, it wasn't us who killed him. We're trying to figure it out. We've had 2 operatives die as well. We need to work together. And eventually Loki, backs off and he's like, okay, you have some time to figure it out. Romanoff is running from there, trying to figure this shit out now, trying to figure out what's happening. And she realizes that Hope, so her last name is something else.
Oh, Van Dyne.
Mm-hmm. Hope Van Dyne, she had accessed the database of was it 2 weeks earlier or 2 days ago or something like that, which made no sense because in this universe she's been dead for a year. Yep. He is and so she's trying to understand like what's going on, and as she figures it out, that she gets attacked, and she's able to get a call off to Fury and leave a voicemail because Fury doesn't answer. They said it's all about hope. It's all about hope. It's all about hope. And yeah, and then that's the end of Romanoff for us.
Yeah.
She gets Dunzo clapped up. We don't have to see the whole thing play
She
out.
literally just disappeared for the rest of the episode. I was like,
Yeah.
oh dang, it's like that, huh? Well,
Yeah. Well, I guess if the episodes are connected, it's comic books. If you don't see the body, we didn't see her body.
yeah, it's true.
She might not actually be dead. But based on how we treated just about everybody else, I feel like it's fair to assume. But we get through that, and then we get to where Fury is thinking about calling in Captain Marvel, but he decides to hold off because he thinks he's got, as he starts to figure stuff out and think it through and talk it through with Coulson, it clicks to him, and he goes to meet with Loki, and he sees what's the name of that character, Gerard? The red-eye character. He goes to see the guy who Loki's with, the man.
Red Eye character.
It's that
talking about the
dude-
Watcher?
No, the dude when he pulls up to the ice castle, when he's like, I'm gonna go, he's like, I need to talk to your boss.
Talk about that tall mechanical.
Yeah, that guy, but I don't think he's mechanical. I think he's like
actual person.
what is his name? It's not a natural person, but he's like endued with magic or some shit like that. I just can't think of his name. The Destroyer or something like that, maybe.
I forgot. Damn.
He
Let me
was
see
who
this
Thor
is.
fought in that.
Yeah, it's the Destroyer. I'm not crazy. Oh, yeah, see, I'm not crazy. That's the dude who was when he drove up to go have that meeting with Loki at the ice tower thing. It was a dude outside that was standing guard. He's like, I need to speak to your boss.
Oh,
It was the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Destroyer, I guess as people call him.
Yeah.
He's Asgardian automation used primarily to guard Odin's vault. Yes. Had to look that up real quick because I knew it wasn't crazy. But yeah, so he was out there, he whatever, they make their little plan. And then next thing we see is Fury outside Hope's grave. And of course, we also know that Fury is technically on this Avengers list because he's starting the initiative or whatever. And so Fury gets Hank Pym comes up and we see it, and he's basically in full villain mode. He's like, let me tell you my whole plan, why I did this all type shit, instead of just trying to kill him off the cuff or from like some sort of distance. And yeah, he starts talking to him, why'd you do it, yada yada. He's like, hey, nobody cared about Hope and da 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 da. And then it's funny because they have Fury, and he's like, well, to be honest, I don't care about any of them. So talking about all that shit, and then they get into their whole fight, and Fury just starts smacking this nigga up. And if you don't know what's happening, if you couldn't piece what was happening early enough, you like, wait, hold on, they really done gave this nigga Fury some kind of crazy powers or something. He looking like
I thought that too. I was like, whoa, it's definitely What If. Like,
this is a super What If. He was looking like Buddy from Invincible. The main dude over there, their Nick Fury. He looked like him because he was teleporting around and making multiplications of himself, all types of shit.
right.
And he was like, you're pretty spry for a dude who sits in a corner office. I just thought it was a good little fight, only to be revealed by the time, and he just keeps smacking him no matter how small he goes or whatever he tries to do. He just kept beating his ass, only to be revealed that it's actually Loki who has him. And yeah, and they're able to take him into custody and stop him. And Fury then comes in and tells him the real thing. Like, no, she took a risk. She knew what she was doing. We love all of them. Like, we care about everybody the same. Like, you're an idiot if you think like her memory isn't. She knew what she was doing. Like, you know what I mean? Basically, like, you're mad over nothing. Yeah, you're upset she died, but she died doing something she wanted to do. No one forced her to do shit. Nobody's fault. So yeah, that was they had that moment. I thought that was really cool. And then we find out basically, yeah, it was Hank who did everything. They showed us the breakdown of how Hank Pym killed everybody. He had snuck in through the syringe before he did it and killed Tony, injected him with something else, and then he had snuck into Hulk and like accelerated his heart rate.
He put like a bomb thingy in there.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, like a
It
miniature
was
bomb. And
something that he made it like his company, Pym.
Yeah.
Pim, I forgot what his company's called.
But he just
Pim
increased the size of
something.
his heart.
Whatever, it accelerated his heart and like blew it up, and
it does blew him up.
Yeah. And then and then the Hawkeye one, he had just like tapped his arm to make him flinch and release the
Which is pretty wild.
barely touched it. Pinpoint actually, even when I didn't release it on papers. That's kind of wild. Couldn't hit this nigga shoulder blade or nothing, right to the heart, no matter what. So we got to see all that. It didn't show us him killing Black Widow still, but yeah. And so he had decided to kill everybody because of that. And he admitted that killing Thor he was like, you were just gonna recruit him too. Like, fuck him. You were just gonna recruit him into your little group, which I mean, he was. But yeah. So we got to see his Hank Pym behind all of it, which I thought was crazy. Hank being that angry and that mad and going crazy and instead going off the rails. So that was really fun. We got to see all that, and then let me know if I'm missing anything between there and this. But then we obviously at the end we got to see him say, we got to see everybody in their like caskets and everything. And Coulson's like, well, what are we gonna do now? And he's like, well, they weren't the only Avengers. And he, we got to see Captain Marvel fly in. And then, who knows where else they're going to go for, recruiting Avengers characters. Obviously, there's still more plays they can do. Obviously, if nothing's all connected, you still have a Wakanda to go to. You still got all that type of stuff. So who knows where else they could pull people from when it comes to the Avengers. But if they continue anything to do with that exact universe that we just saw. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a solid episode, even with a couple of flaws here or there. I thought it was interesting to see these characters just die right in front of us.
It was cool. I did enjoy it though. It was a fun episode. It definitely showed more like Nick Fury, like trying to figure like, oh shit, damn. Well, what about my Avengers Initiative? And everything. A couple of things I found were interesting. Like, well, one, this was instead of last week's episode was technically like Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther in some aspects, but it was like 70-80% Guardians of the Galaxy. The first episode was strictly Captain America, the first Avenger. This one was like Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, which was cool to see. Thor 1. There was a couple. I know, like when Black Widow, was acting as if she was getting arrested. She was walking the truck with the other SHIELD agents, and she sat in the middle there, and they're all like around her, and she had to beat them up. That kind of gave me a nod to like Winter Soldier. That the famous elevator fight scene. It kind of gave me vibes of that a little bit. So they threw a number of things here and there, which was really cool. Having a brain fart was fun. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Honestly, I really didn't expect the whole thing with like Hank Pym or Hulk. Like when she kept saying, it was smart how they did it, because when at first when she said it was like Hulk, it's not like she was saying Hulk is all about Hulk, but then, like when Nick Fury was listening to them more, and he was like Hulk, and I was like Hulk.
Oh, Hulk. You didn't hear Hope. Oh, you heard.
I heard Hulk a little bit, but it sounded weird. Which
Okay.
I don't know if I was on purpose or just my ears were being dumb.
Yeah, I thought it sounded weird.
Okay, cool. So that was on purpose.
I heard Hope immediately.
Wow. You heard Hope immediately? Oh,
I heard Hope, but
you probably put it
together. I understand how you could hear Hope.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, hey, because
Nick Fury kept repeating it. That's I feel like that's
and to be fair, I watched this on my phone. If I didn't say that earlier, I watched it on my phone because I was in a hotel and I just I didn't have like I need to take I need to get like another Google Home that I can. Actually, don't I have another Google Home? No, but maybe I need to take like a Fire Stick or something with me to when I go on trips, so I can like put it in the TV and still be able to watch stuff on the TV, because I have to watch everything on my phone. Cause I only have my work laptop, doesn't let me watch stuff, and then so I just had my phone, and just was like, oh. So maybe because I was watching my phone, AirPods and everything, I was just real clear through. It was like Hope. It's all about Hope. But also, she had just said the name right before, so I think that cleansed my palate. But if you were watching the scene, they were saying Hulk so much, I could understand why you heard Hulk.
Yeah, and I didn't when she was like in that little computer in the dark, and the scene where it had her pull up files.
Oh yeah.
I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay, so she was saying Hulk. It showed like a number of Shield agents at the very end. It showed Hope Van Dyne deceased or whatever, and I was like, oh, I saw a glimpse of it, but I didn't see the name or the picture, or I guess the name. But I thought that was interesting that they used her as kind of the plot device for Hank Pym going off the rails. Because like in the comics, she was one of the original Avengers members. So I think that was a cool nod as well. So it's neat. Hank Pym is being the Yellow Jacket. It's cool as well. That's still part of his tech in the company. It was all a bunch of cool little nods, cool twists. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode so far. So it was cool. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's right. They did the last thing too. Nick Fury was a little bit of Captain Marvel. He had the super beeper, and she appeared at the very end. And I was like, oh, because he's still thinking of like, there's still hope or not hope. He was kind of like, there's still like a maybe we can maybe my idea can still happen, because he wiped off the thing and saw the shield for Captain America frozen, and then Captain Marvel appeared at the end for longer hair, and I was like, oh, two captains.
Nice little misdirect.
Nice.
Hey, Captain, and then you turn around as Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, neat. So yeah, it was cool all around.
Yeah. And
yeah, it was cool all around.
Okay.
All
right.
Oh yeah, it was dope.
So good, I'm speechless.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really nice. I say out of the three, that's probably my second favorite. Definitely interesting. Didn't expect the flip that they were gonna do with Hank being the villain. So that was definitely interesting.
Yeah,
had no idea.
Yeah,
never saw that coming from a mile away.
I
thought it was gonna be Loki. Oh, the biggest part of the episode I missed.
Oh yeah, Loki at the very end too.
Loki at the end.
That connection to
I loved that. Loki was like, nice. Well, since there's a power vacuum, I guess I'll just take Earth while I'm here. Like,
this man used diplomacy.
Loved it. Loki was like, I'm just all your world leaders decided to just give in to me. So,
and this is like a backstory too.
That leads into
Loki
Avengers 1
for president, and
yes, hey, look at that! Look at us, keys.
If they tie that together, I would.
That's what I thought they were
doing.
That's what I don't. Okay, this is it.
If they do that, that's crazy.
Damn.
I don't know. That's what they're doing, because I don't know if they're gonna continue this. But if that's Loki, if that's Loki becomes President Loki, that's fire. 100%, that's fire. Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Damn, me either.
Did not consider that.
Man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah,
episode was a bit cooler looking in hindsight now. Not saying it wasn't cool before, but it's even cooler.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I didn't consider that at all. That's a nice pickup there, bro.
Damn,
good pickup.
Even Mercy Awesome probably be like, "Oh, I didn't think of that at all." Yes. No shit. You're not the only big thinker on your job.
Yeah, man. No. That's dope. Cool. So Marvel's episode What If. Next episode is Dark Doctor Strange. So
is it really? Oh, okay. All right, bet.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, cool.
Dark Doctor Strange.
Don't know what
wild.
else.
I'm buckled up.
That's Thanos level.
I'm ready.
That's like might as well give up, because this guy got the universe.
Oh man,
kind of wild.
Cool.
Dark Doctor Strange we get next week, folks. So we'll let's see where we go with that. Okay. This is how we end the episode. Another spoiler drop.
Spoilers.
Okay. You were saying something, but I think
I said I didn't see it. Oh, my bad. Oh, nothing. It was nothing.
All right, it's not gonna work out because it's fine. All right, man. We got about 30 minutes to knock this out before this becomes ridiculous. Titans season 3, episode 5. Lazarus.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I think
you know.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
if you know, the rest of this episode will be a solo episode. No, look. This was the episode that I needed. Because, and this is, and I got to start this whole thing off. You guys will for sure remember. Before this season even started, when we got the first trailer, and we saw that Jason was going to become Red Hood and all that, I said we didn't get enough time with Jason. We didn't get to dive deep with him. We didn't get to sit with him long enough. We just didn't get enough of Jason being Jason as Jason first. We didn't get to see, but now I think with him basically getting a full episode to himself, plus we did get to see him have some happy moments. We got to see him have some hero moments. We got to see him sort of decline a little bit from those over time. And maybe in hindsight, I wasn't giving it enough credit. We did get to see a good bit of moments with Jason. We got to see some of that jealousy of Dick and stuff like that. But then now we get to see it full on in this episode. And before I even dive, I'm a hypocrite. I lied to y'all. Last week I said, ain't no way you're going to redeem Jason. He redeemed to me. He already redeemed. It's cool. I forgive you, Jason. It wasn't that's not on you, bro. That's not your fault. I get it. I understand. So I'm just saying that off the rip. I will be the first one to admit that I forgave Jason about 20 minutes into the episode. I was like, yeah, all right. It's not even your fault, Jason. It's all right. You done got your ass kicked in front of your girl. You done. It's a lot of shit going on for Jason. So I don't even know if I want to go scene by scene in this because it's too much. It's too long. But
highlights, I guess.
But your highlights, we get to so we're seeing Jason. He's tripping with Scarecrow, and he's like, "Yo, I need to know the plan." He's like, "You don't understand. Like, we fucked up. Like, Dick is not gonna stop. He's not gonna stop." And he's like, "Yo, are you scared of him?" He's like, "I'm not scared. Like, you just don't understand." And the reality is, yeah, that nigga was scared. He's fucking terrified. Dick was getting his ass kicked. And like I said last episode, like, Jason got that reminder in him, like, all right, man, I might be cold, I might be good, I can do all this stuff, and I ain't got no fear. But I died one time when I didn't have any fear. And Dick, while he may not want to kill me, he that guy
more than capable of doing
it. And
yeah.
It don't matter how many guns and shit I come with, none of that matters. Like he gonna wreck my shop, bro. And yeah, and so, but we see that Scarecrow gives him another hit of the toxin or whatever, and we move forward into it. And then we just kind of dive into this backstory, and we see Jason back in Gotham, and he's back out there, but he's having these bad dreams. And I guess one of the biggest interesting points we start at is the dream he is having. He's having this crazy dream. He's scared. He's roaming around. I do think it was a little weird that he saw Donna. Red Hood. He saw Donna, but he also saw Red Hood in that dream. Almost like they're kind of trying to play like a split personality type thing. And I wonder if maybe that was one of the angles they were going for, and they just left it in the
episode 3
in the episode. My thing is like, it is weird though, because this is supposed to be 3 months prior when he had this dream. So I guess it's kind of like right when he had just got back to Gotham sort of thing. Like he's recently come back to Gotham. He's back at the manor, and he's having these bad dreams about him falling off that cliff and almost dying, and just different shit going on, right? Even though he should have been real confident falling off a cliff if he'd already known Dawn fell off a cliff and lived. He's no worries for the boy wonder, but whatever. He's still having some traumatic dreams about a lot of those experiences and stuff like that. And he starts thinking to himself, what can I do? And Bruce wants him to go to therapy and see a therapist, a very specific therapist. And let me just put this up real quick. You have, I spelled it wrong. Whoops. You have Leslie Tompkins, who is a comic book character. Okay. And I think, let me see if she was the same actor from that show too. Let me see. Is she the same one from Gotham? I think so. Really? So the Gotham show has, really? Anyways, yeah, I think she was on the Gotham show. She was on the Gotham show, and so she crossed over to this, I believe. Now, let's see.
Does that count as a
multiverse? No, none of it counts as multiverse. No, maybe she didn't play the same exact character in both. No. Hold on. In Gotham, she might have been older. She might have been the older one. Let me see. Sorry, folks. I'm not that sorry. Real quick. Yeah. So in Gotham, she is the wife of Jim Gordon. I gotta rewatch Gotham. I don't remember that at all. I didn't realize she was the wife of Jim Gordon, but that wasn't. So who portrayed her in this? If she was portrayed by, come on. No, Marina Baccarin. So it was two different actors. They look kind of similar though in the they do look kind of similar. But anyways, the character has shown up in both shows. It's not the same character, so it's not multiverse. But the character has shown up in both shows. Either way, she's a psychologist. I know in the comics she used to be like an older lady who kind of helped Bruce through his trauma as he was growing up. But in this, she's definitely like a younger woman. Even to the point where Jason makes that comment, he looks at Bruce and he's like, "Yeah, she's kind of hot." Do you know?
I like how he's
Y'all had, and he was like,
I know how you move, Bruce. I know how you give it up. So Bruce,
did you tap that? He's like, I got a meeting to go.
I have a meeting that does not concern you, Jason.
And one thing about this episode, there were a lot of little references. She also, and obviously we're talking about a lot of these things out of order, just kind of mentioning big parts because we'll get to what I think is the biggest deal with it. But you had him mentioning going to Metropolis, Bruce mentioning he had to go to Metropolis. You also had Leslie mentioning that she could tell Jason a story about Superman. So those, some of the early references that they had there, trying to let us know that those characters exist in this universe, that this universe is not just the heroes we see. There are other heroes around. And don't get me wrong, we know a lot is happening and stuff like that. But yeah, all these other heroes exist. If Donna exists, that means Wonder Woman exists. Just because we haven't seen her doesn't mean she doesn't exist. And it doesn't mean that they're Superboy. Obviously, Superboy lets us know that Superman exists, but even just more confirmation. And Bruce even says by name, he says Lex is up to something. So Lex Luthor exists and is doing things in this world. So hopefully, as Titans progresses, or as we gain into more of this, as we push into potentially making more of this a multiverse type thing, even though it's not multiverse, if Lex shows up in the show. But it's possible. Maybe they tie in stuff from that Superman and Lois show and stuff like that, or maybe they bring in a Lex from one of these other universes. Who knows? Maybe the Flash movie somehow leaves a Lex in this universe. You never know. It could be a million different things. Even though Lex is clearly already in this universe now that he's been mentioned. I don't know. I'm speculating randomly. But there's just a lot of different ways they could go about it. So interesting to see a lot of the references here. He also makes that funny line. He says, if this new girl you're interested in likes cats, leave her alone, stay far away from her. Obviously a Catwoman reference. And then we also got to see the goggles and the whip that he has in his little vault thing.
Whip, bro. Why you kept on hold on to the whip?
Hey, I head on to that whip, man.
Hey, look,
some other things.
History is history.
They wasn't using that whip just for the villains, just for the. Hey, Batman into a little BDSM,
Apparently.
Hey,
it's just a tad.
Role play, superhero villain type thing,
Hey, man.
He's like,
Batman might be a little submissive. He's like, yo, I'm always in charge when I'm in the field. Sometimes I want you to take control.
Hold up.
Oh man.
Hey, so anyways, yeah, man. So we got all of that. But Jason does kind of give in, right? Jason does kind of give in. He says, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna go to therapy. He goes to the therapy. Well, before he does that, he goes out, he gets Molly is telling about some guy that is out here snatching kids up for the Joker, and he's like, yo, let's go find him. And obviously Jason feeling all, badassy and, all Mr. I'm Robin. He's like, yeah, let's just go. So he goes out there, regular jacket, his face out, like, yo, I'm a badass. I don't care. and got his girl with him and all of that, and they doing their thing. And when they find Buddy, he uses his little bat phone to get the whole profile. Molly's like, huh? I don't understand. To my knowledge, Molly is not a specific character from anything, but I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me on that. I'm not gonna look that up. But I don't recognize her from like any specific. Wait, just clicked in my head who Molly could be. I'll look it up later. Or I'll look it up as I'm talking. But yeah, so they go out there and Jason confronts the dude like, yo, are you so and so and da 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 da. And the dude basically is like, yo, who the fuck are you? And then he basically puts a gun right to Jason's chin. And he's like, yeah, what's up now? And from that moment, I knew Jason was screwed because you could see in his face, he wasn't really ready for that gun to be in his face. I thought he was just going to kind of flip out of it real quick, bust him, be back to still be robbing a little. Nah. And I think that was trying to let us know his buildup to eventually what happened with the Joker, right? Because if that dude can kick his ass while he's dealing with this, then the Joker probably not going to do much better. So yeah, that dude beat the shit out of Jason. Molly begging for his life. The dude drives off and leaves them. Lucky for them. And Jason's like, yo, leave me alone, get out of here, whatever. And I just wonder if, he goes to therapy. And he goes to therapy. They have their talks and everything like that. They kind of dive in. But he opens up a little bit and she gives him a little bit back. And that's where he gets the idea for the fear toxin, and the anti-fear toxin is talking to her. And after, he goes back and he talks with Bruce, and Bruce is still concerned about him. And Bruce tries to do what, me and Ian were talking about it. Bruce tries to do the right thing. He picks him up from his session, takes him to Crime Alley, where Bruce lost his parents, which is a nice reference to it without having to walk us through that whole scene and show us Bruce's parents dying or anything like that. It's a nice reference to it. They take it there, and Jason immediately knows where they're at. So he's not even like, it's something he's already clear on. And he's like, look, man, like, I'm sorry I brought you into this shit. I've put too much pressure on you. I've put too much on you, and it's breaking you down. And while Bruce is trying to do the right thing, I think what Dick said and what Barbara said still holds true. Where Bruce, while yes, he does care to an extent, obviously, right? Like we've met we've seen multiple times through this. Obviously, I didn't mention it, but Bruce called him his son while they were making those references. He's like,
kind of cringy moments to me, honestly.
It was cringy to you?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like,
really?
Yes, even after having it, when he repeated it, I was like, it almost felt like the first time he said it, it was by accident. But then he's like, I got to commit to it now.
Yeah. I guess this version of Bruce can give you those vibes. To me, it was just like you have two people with very strong personalities, very prideful personalities, very much they don't show emotion because it can be weakness for them. And I just saw it as an awkward moment between them. You know what I mean? Bruce being awkward about saying it, and Jason being awkward about accepting it, but Jason knowing it's something that he wants to hear, that makes him feel good, but he still feels awkward about accepting it. I felt like it was supposed to be awkward. Like to me, it wasn't cringy. It was just awkward, but that's what it should have been. And I thought the last time he said it was even better when he was like, you don't have to wear a costume to be my son. I thought it came off the most natural. It didn't sound awkward, and I felt like it fit. But obviously at that point, Jason heard what Bruce was saying, but he felt like he was being benched, even so far to compare him and say, you never did Dick like this. You didn't do this to Dick. You let him, you always support him. You let him. He's like, I don't want to be thrown to the side. And clearly Jason feels like Robin is all he has. And for Bruce to sideline him for a little bit, him to do everything Bruce told him to do, and then for Bruce to still go, you gotta go to the side. He immediately assumes that it's the therapist told Bruce some stuff, and he's like, yo, she didn't tell me anything. She wouldn't tell me anything. This is just me making a decision what I think is best for you.
Yeah.
And me and Ian discussed this a little bit. I don't know that was the best decision to just cut him out, especially as he's listening to you. Give him some more time. He was willing to go to sessions. He's still willing to go to more sessions. Like, I just feel like he could have gave him some more time, give him some light duty.
I think ultimately what Batman was trying to get at was that he made a mistake entirely in like even in trying to bring Robbins in. I think he was saying that even Dick was a mistake.
Yeah,
it wasn't just you. It was
that's my
like
impression too.
I shouldn't even have been doing this, and I'm gonna stop it here with you.
Yeah, but then after Jason died, see, you still have to have some context, right? And you can't forget that after Jason died,
he went back
10 minutes later, he went to doing it.
Well, he probably did that because he was kind of trying to fill that void that he now has. And
10 minutes later, what for? 10 minutes. That's what he said. He said 10 minutes or 10 hours, whatever it was. It wasn't even a day after Jason was dead. He's out here looking at potential candidates. Yeah, that doesn't fall in line with I wanted to stop the buck with you. That sounds like, hey, I've gotten to know you. I care about you. I love you. So I want you to stop. But I'm going to bring in another Robin. But you need to stop.
Well, he never mentioned that he was going to bring in another Robin.
He didn't have to. But I'm just saying it's implied by what we've seen and what's in that scene. To just say, I want to stop Robins with you now that I realize it's wrong, that's not what was happening.
I think, well, I might be filling this in, but like he was going through a traumatic experience of losing a Robin. And the thing that he knows that he can cope with is, what he's been doing. The same thing, the same stuff that he's been doing all this time. Even if you say that you're not going to do it anymore, after going through something, you go to what's familiar. That being bringing another Robert in to, help me out on this end. He was even begging Dick to come back.
Yeah, after Dick confronted him about trying to look for more kids. Right. And what I'm saying is, if you admitted that if you were admitting that you were doing something wrong, not just with Jason specifically, but with Dick too, bringing in these kids, adopting these kids, and then even starting them young to get justice and fight back and do all this stuff. Okay. Right. Like considering, we know Dick's story, Bruce helped him take down his killer, his parents' killer. And in this case, Jason's father was killed by Two-Face. So, and he's got some Two-Face momentum. So maybe, we can assume that Bruce took Jason to fight against Two-Face and get some of his revenge. Cool. But if you've realized, I really fucked up. I fucked this kid up. He's messed up in the head. He's having fucked up dreams. I need to stop. Not all of this. Then you try to stop it. And in trying to stop it, that he dies. He still ends up dying. Regardless of if you tried to stop, whatever, you still started the ball rolling. He wouldn't have ever known about a Joker to follow if you hadn't introduced him to this world. Then he dies. How do you then justify saying, I'm going to go try to find another kid? Because of some trauma? No, I just think that's a stretch. That still doesn't make sense to me. If they go with that, then I would just say that's another fault on the writers that would take a little bit away from that in the episode for me. I think he realized, hey, I genuinely do love you, Jason. You are still my son, but I don't think Robin is the best place for you. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to throw you back onto the street. One, because I care about you, but two, and if you're looking at this being a sadistic Bruce Wayne, everything. I can't throw you back onto the street to just be out there. I'd be asking for another enemy. You know what I mean? So this is another one of the problems, right? Like, yeah, I got to keep you here. You're still here, but I'm going to bring in another Robin. And if he brings in another Robin, that would still push Jason even further away. So I don't know that Bruce had fully learned his lesson, really. And when Jason died and then Dick really confronted him, instead of him trying to do all that, he finally snapped and just went and killed Joker. But to say that he was overall trying to do the right thing from that scene, I feel like that may be the sentiment it's trying to give you, but you just have to remember what his actions were following this.
Yeah, after that, he just left, which is stupid. But he
left.
No, that was stupid.
No,
everything after that conversation
Still doesn't make sense.
Yes.
If you think that conversation was him learning his lesson with recruiting kids.
I don't think he was like ultimately finally learned his lesson. I think he just wanted to start with Jason and moving forward, maybe try not to be that Batman anymore. But I mean, then he ended up doing.
But it's like Dick said, man. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Then he ended up being that Batman again anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like an addiction, man.
Yeah, well, we know that, and we know that part of this show, even though Batman is not the focus, they have done a decent job of letting us know how much of the shit Batman goes through and how many of his own mental problems he's dealing with too. So there's always that aspect to it as well. But I feel like with Jason, what Dick had told him, he's like, you didn't care enough to really see what was going on, because I feel like if Batman had really if Bruce had taken more time to really learn Jason, know Jason, he would have known that taking Robin away from him was not going to fix things. If anything, it would make him worse, because he had to realize, like, while Dick was able to kind of close his chapter and, take down his parents' killer and, garner his anger and use that energy the right way and all that type of stuff, Jason really was a street kid. At least Bruce, I mean, Dick grew up in a home, you know what I mean, like he grew up with a family around and stuff like that. Jason grew up already in a broken home. He was already broken coming in, you know what I mean? And his mom dies, his dad's killed, so he's already a very broken kid, and the thing that has given his life some stability is being Robin. So to take that away from him is going to affect him deeply. So if he knew that, he could have dived and played more into that, and he didn't, which I felt like that was just what's the word? I think that just solidified what Dick was saying about it. Like, if you had cared more, a lot of this could have been prevented. But he didn't care. Yeah, too little, too late. So yeah, Jason doesn't take well to Bruce taking him away from that, and he goes looking for Scarecrow, help him come up with this this anti-fear toxin, because Scarecrow created the fear toxin. He feels like if you can create a fear toxin, you can create a toxin to get rid of fear. The thing is, the toxin that he tried, I thought the montage of him trying a lot of different versions of it was funny. To an extent, like it was creepy, but it was funny to me. Like he just kept trying shit. He ended up throwing up. Yeah, throwing shit up and shit not working, or smoking stuff that just meant nothing. And just so you know, like, well, y'all, some people know that I like to vape sometimes. I think I've done a couple times on this episode. But now when I vape, I pretend I'm taking the Red Hood stuff. So and then I raise my eyes open.
Just make the smoke yellow.
Yeah, well, the juice is yellow-ish.
Oh, okay. Oh, that works.
Right.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
So so yeah, man.
I hate y'all.
Ian's like, so I be that's I got that for my Red Hood cosplay this Halloween.
Okay.
But yeah, so he finally gets one that works, and he feels it or whatever. And the thing is, it doesn't make him just lose fear or have no fear. It makes him feel nothing. So he's emotionless. He doesn't feel anything, but it seems like he also doesn't necessarily feel pain. So he doesn't feel pain, but he doesn't feel emotions. He doesn't feel fear. He doesn't feel happiness. He doesn't feel anything. He's just a shell. And yeah, so he says, well, we got to try this thing out. And Scarecrow sends him to try it out on Joker. And he's like, yeah, I got to beat on him, blah, 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 blah. And we get to see it again. And this is where what Gerard was saying, as much as Jason was taking the fear toxin and he wasn't scared or he couldn't feel anything, that still didn't mean that he was up for the fight. And if the regular dude had kicked his ass, it made complete sense that Joker could come and kick his ass still. And then that's, so he gets his ass kicked, killed by Joker. We get to see that again. He gets his skull bashed in. And then they do some shit that I did not expect. They show us him being wheeled out the morgue or whatever, being dragged out of there and being dragged to the Lazarus pit that is under Arkham. well, they didn't specifically say it was under Arkham, but it looks like it was under Arkham.
I think it's safe to assume that. I mean, for me, I thought, okay, so this is underneath at least the Arkham Asylum or something, or some ways underneath Gotham. So is this actually accurate to how Red Hood was was created? Because I actually never knew.
Well, no. So
that's why I wanted to ask too.
So originally he's killed by Joker, obviously, yeah. But normally it's Talia or Ra's al Ghul who pulls him up and bring him back, and they take him to a Lazarus pit and revive him, and then they train him back up, and he comes back out as a killer, and this is the real way we're gonna have justice in the world and all of that, and that's how he turns into the anti-hero type shit. I do think there is a comic reference to them being a Lazarus pit under Arkham Asylum, though.
I mean, I
do think that is a thing. I do think that's a thing. I just don't remember if it was really under Arkham or not.
That was my assumption, because given everything we've seen so far in this season and that type of knowledge I know, I guess, like, I mean, Scarecrow is in Arkham Asylum. They won't let him out anywhere unless there's some hole or some shit that leads underground that they just didn't show. Whatever. So I just assumed, okay, so clearly he must know somewhere to go, and it's down there. That's where he lured his body.
Yeah. Yep. Dumped him in there. I thought it was crazy when they zipped open the bag and you got to see Jason's beat up face.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I
did not expect to see that. I was like, oh, and I'm on a plane too. I was like,
all right. Yeah, I feel like,
I know people was looking at me like, but I
was like, what are you shocked about? Getting
like,
up and shit.
I was like,
on my plane.
They really showed this shit. We got to see Jason's beat in face, and then he gets dumped into the pit. Oh, we see all the bubbling and the magic, and he comes back. Comes back up. Yeah, just good old looking Jason. And he wakes back up in the room with Scarecrow, and Scarecrow's like, yo, relax. And he's like, yo, Bruce. And he's like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, hey, look, man. Hey, look. You died. You're back. Get over it. We got shit to do. And I did think that was funny. They had a little scene, which seemed to be a thing that WB keeps letting these authors do, where Scarecrow is just dancing and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. The guy who's playing Jonathan Crane is really good. I like his acting. His acting is really good. And he's really capturing Scarecrow outside of the mask, which I think is really dope. Which was another thing we got to see in Bruce's vault. And the ventriloquist. Shout out to the ventriloquist. We got to see Scarface.
The dummy.
Who's the dummy.
That's pretty cool.
We got to see Scarface, who's the dummy. So maybe there's a reference. I guess that means the actual dude is dead. But I don't know if that means they're dead or not, because like he had the fear toxin in there, but Scarecrow isn't dead. So who knows where these villains all are? There's no guarantee that they are around or not around. So this would be interesting to see. But yeah, so back to everything. So he's smoking and shit like that, and he's like, I got you a new batch with an extra dose. They don't really explain what the extra boost is to it. They just kind of give it to him again. I feel like it's something that either enhances his like fighting ability or his awareness, or maybe it gives him like, it's another concoction that gives him like his confidence back, along with not having fear or something. Like, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but his eyes glow and he's, right back under basically what seems to be Scarecrow's control. And yeah, so then the one good thing he does do before when he comes back is he saves the kid that they were originally trying to find the first time, Diego, and he returns him to the shelter, or takes him to Molly and says, hey, this is Diego. And she's like, Molly figures it out, like, oh, you're Jason. And he's like, yo, it's complicated, but understand, like, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And he's like, I would never hurt you, Molly. Just know that. Just know I wouldn't hurt you. Forget everybody else. Forget whatever you hear. Forget whatever comes out. But I'm not going to hurt you. So he obviously is in control to some degree. Like he wouldn't hurt her. But I wonder if it could be a case of something like that, where he might accidentally, while he's on the toxin fully, he might accidentally hurt her as a means to getting to somebody else because he's emotionless, and then hurting her maybe snaps him out of it or breaks him of that, or he the drug like runs out or something, and then he realizes that oh, I hurt Molly, and now he's regretting everything. And what, I don't know, it could be something like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. But you know, this episode just did a really good job of letting us really dive into Jason, why he feels the way he feels, how he got here. It's just the full Jason episode that we needed from a long time ago. I think they could have really established Jason's character, and I think they could have done this instead of one episode. I think they could have done this over time, which could have led us into how this season started without having to do this big catch-up episode. But since we didn't get that, this is probably the next best thing. So I did enjoy that side of it, you know, getting to see Jason really really come out of this and really watch his turn, watch how he flipped, watch how he lost it. I'm glad they kept the Lazarus pit. I think, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not 100% accurate to the comics or anything like that. I never expected it to be. There's always going to be something different. But I assumed a Lazarus pit was involved. I was just curious how it was. I think the security guard guy was a nobody. I don't think he was like any special character, which is a little unfortunate because that's an easy like Easter egg moment there, to just throw somebody random in there who might have been working with Ra's al Ghul or something like that, to throw him in a pit. Or maybe Scarecrow is working with Ra's al Ghul, and that's how they're gonna, you know, eventually make that connection somehow. There is that part to it as well. Am I missing any big parts of this episode? Jason comes back, suits up.
Nah, I think he covered everything. I mean, way better than I would. So
yeah, I think that's basically the whole episode there, man.
So I guess we're staying in Gotham then for the season, you think?
Yeah, I think we're primarily out of Gotham now, and I think we're gonna get.
No, I mean we're staying. No, I mean like the main threats will still be Scarecrow and Gotham. Like we won't go elsewhere and deal with some other shit.
Oh no, I think we still will. I think we still will.
Okay.
I think. Oh, no. Oh, I don't know about Titan Tower. No, I don't know about going back to Titan Tower. I think that's what I was saying. When you say Gotham, I think the setting will be Gotham still for the season. I think the setting is Gotham. Blackfire, if she's gonna flip, Gotham is the place where she could probably flip. You know what I mean? Like I still see Gotham as the main place, but obviously at some point we're gonna have to go see Donna. We got to see Donna in that dream with Jason, and it seemed like she was trying to communicate to him in some way, like there's still time, Jason, you can still change, or we can still fix things or something. So how that plays out, who knows? But Donna clearly was trying to reach him in some way, and just because of the vibes of how this shit is, I'm gonna assume that was really Donna trying to reach out, not him just dreaming about Donna, or like Donna haunting him in a dream. Like I think Donna was trying to reach him in some way, actively, not just him dreaming about her. So I do think that there's something to that. How that plays out or comes out, no idea. I don't even have a theory. I just can't wait to see how that comes out. Because I think Donna will come back to life by the end of this season. I don't think it'll be quickly, but I think she'll come back. Yeah, man. But yeah, I thought it was a great episode to dive deep into Jason. I thought this was one of the better ones. And obviously we still have to get Tim Drake into the team, or
they got a lot
acclimated some way. So there's still a lot to happen.
We're gonna be in Gotham. Yeah, I actually forgot about Tim Drake. Yeah. We're gonna be here for a minute.
There'll be a lot going on here. It'll be interesting to see how he kind of comes into the fold. I think the only way now to bring him into the fold, because Dick isn't going to recruit a kid. Bruce is gone. So I don't think the only way he comes into the fold is Tim just suiting up on his own and just deciding I'm going to be a Robin. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode.
Oh no, I enjoyed it. I mean, it especially helps me, someone that just still learn DC stuff going through just in general. So I enjoyed it. I mean, it's 5 episodes.
5 episodes in.
That's one of the best ones, I would say. They
Yeah,
tie up there for like episode 2, in my opinion.
I can see that.
Stuff like
Episode
that.
2 and 3,
I
yeah.
think 2 and 5 are the best episodes so far. Well, I mean, yeah, 3.
3 is up
good
there
too.
for me. Yeah, 3 is up there for me.
I mean, the
too.
first 2 were strong start. Yeah, for me, 2 and 5 are probably tied with favorite episodes so far.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, I've been liking a lot of it. 4 is up there for me too. I think 3 and 4 might be my favorite too, but this one is my favorite one so far. Because I just really enjoy the love Jason got to, not the love necessarily, but the spotlight Jason got to be under. So even if you don't forgive him fully for his actions, you understand maybe why they were taken. And I thought it was good. To me, it opened up a chance for him to still be that anti-hero character. So
for sure, man. You definitely got, just early on in the season. So.
We'll just have to see how he fully can make a turn back. Not a full turn back, because he's still going to want to do his thing. Jason's probably still going to be willing to kill and everything like that. He doesn't want to be stuck under Batman's rules. But he's gonna. I'm interested to see where his character goes. But shout out to the actor. I think his name is Curran Walters. I think it's Curran Walters. He just, I think he did a really great job of portraying Jason. And Curran Walters is his name. If you look up his other pictures, it's actually kind of funny. Like he used to be a model. So when you see his other pictures when he's not looking like Jason, he looks like one of those white dudes that you want to hate. Like one of those typical but as Jason, I don't know anything about this dude's personality outside of this. So I'm just gonna assume he's a great guy on his own. But you could see him look he does kind of look like a douche in some. I'm not gonna lie, he does look like an asshole in some of his own shit. But he looks like he's been like a model since he was like 14 or something. So I feel like models, so especially male models, a lot of them end up looking like assholes, man. And I don't know if it's their fault.
I think it's the industry. They just go for that type of. They go for like a type of look. I'm not saying you have to have this face, but I think it's like proportions and stuff. I think.
He just really fits that. But he's doing a really good job as an actor. So shout out to him. Hopefully he hasn't done any bullshit that we got to learn about in the future. Really hope he doesn't, so he can continue to portray him. I'm of the belief, I like his performance so much that I really hope he's able to portray Jason Todd for a long time. Like if they are really turning this into a multiverse, if they're really gonna tie shit together, then he should be able to play Jason Todd as we go.
I mean,
he should be able to keep this Nightwing as Nightwing. And if they're gonna keep it this way, I don't have the faith that they will, but if somehow by some stretch of the imagination they do, I would love to see him continue to play Jason for a long time. Even if it's not multiple series, you know what? I'd love for him to play Jason in the just in Titans run for a while. I'd take that.
I mean, I know we showed on the CW everything, but when they had their little event, Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they had the flashes of different shows and stuff, they showed Hawk and Jason Todd Robin before the shit got lit up. So somebody there has an idea. They could have chose anybody else, but yeah, so you never know.
Yeah, man, very true. Okay, we've been here for a while today, guys.
Yeah, we have.
Man, Titans season 3 is still going on strong. I'm loving it. And we're really gonna have to try to get together on an off day so we can ever talk about the Bad Batch. We're gonna have to try to do that so we can say something about the Bad Batch. Golly, Bad Batch. Is there any other? Oh, Shang-Chi comes out this weekend. I can't guarantee that we'll be talking about it next week because I don't know.
I can guarantee I won't be seeing it because I'm trying to avoid. That's
So
me though.
We can only see it in theaters, right? And
We can only see it in theaters.
might take a trip to a local barbershop or something, man.
I mean, hey, somebody
find us a copy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, somebody will have. Well, shoot, I'll hit. I might know somebody, maybe.
Come on.
But anyway, but no,
Maybe.
for real. No, but for real though. I mean, we're all vaccinated. It's just Delta out there. It's opening weekend. Yeah, exactly. The opening weekend. There's going to be a lot of people there. More. I mean, there's still going to be a fair number of people there. Some that may or may not, probably won't be vaccinated. People that just don't care. They just want their more Marvel. I mean,
yeah, that's the unfortunate side of shit.
Safe, just being safe. I would rather wait until either the following week or just gauge it. Maybe a week after that. I don't know. Just have to gauge it. Or for me, I'll have to gauge it. But I do want to see before September is over. And see where Shang-Chi fits into the MCU. I'm very curious about that. He's not a super huge Marvel. He's never been a super huge Marvel character. He's never been a big player. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with him.
Yeah.
Bless you.
And on that note.
Yes.
No other way to end the episode, right?
Yes. Derek sneezing caps off the episode. Man. Actually, no. A second will cap off the episode. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
I'd rather be sneezing than soaking. So,
I was wondering who was gonna do it.
Y'all had him good at the whole episode. I said, I'm not.
I was looking for opportunities. I was like,
I'm not walking out of here without it.
No.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Hey man, if you don't get the joke, you don't get the joke. And we didn't explain the joke, so why not? Whatever. Either you get it or you get it. Either you know what soaking is or you don't. Good luck. Anyways, man. Good episode. We're interested to keep watching all these shows. Interested to keep up. We'll let you guys know whenever we can finally come in with something Shang-Chi. Maybe we'll just have to try to do like one of those off day type things, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Well, I don't know. My work schedule don't really allow that, but I was thinking like a matinee type thing where less people or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be preferable, honestly.
But yeah. We have to figure out something, man. But we're definitely gonna try to go see this movie, man. Mm-hmm. Masks on and everything. I do want to see this Shang-Chi. I'm excited. I'm interested. So yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for listening. I know this has probably been like 3 hours plus. I'm sure this is it 3:10, something like that, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Nail on the head.
Accurate like that. So yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, enjoy. It's been 2 Ugly Nerds, but as you can see, it's still 3 of us.
There's 3 of us.
Peace.
We out here.
I think it's hilarious that y'all make like random noises at the end, because it always gives me points, because like I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll say peace, and then like you might say peace, like y'all both might say peace, and then I'll be like, bet, that's my end to the podcast, and I'll be like, yep, let me cut off the rest of this, and then 2 seconds later I'll hear catch y'all next week, and I'm like, all right, man, so let me
keep you on your toes.